Welcome back to Wrigley Field. The meeting at home plate has just broken up, and the Chicago Cubs will be taking the field shortly. A couple of scores to pass along to you today. The Florida Marlins continue to get outstanding pitching from their big three. Today it was Dontrell Willis posting his 17th win as Florida beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-2. That moves Florida now to within 4 games of Atlanta's lead. In games tonight in the National League, one of them's underway in Pittsburgh. St. Louis leading the Pirates 3-1. Pirates coming to bat in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Other games later on, the Mets play at Arizona, Houston at San Diego, and the Phillies tonight are in San Francisco. Cubs taking the field. Only 2 games on the American League schedule tonight. Toronto at New York. The Yankees lead that one 1-0. They go to the bottom of the 3rd. And Cleveland at Tampa Bay. It's Tampa Bay on top in that one, 3-1, as they head to the top half of the 3rd inning. Cubs defensively as they take the field. Matt Lawton in left. Corey Patterson in center. And Jeremy Burnitz in right. Around the infield, Aramis Ramirez at 3rd. Nafi Perez short. Todd Walker is the second baseman. And Derek Lee is at 1st. Behind the plate, Michael Barrett. And on the mound, 24-year-old Carlos Zambrano, one of the better right-handers in the National League. He throws a fastball in the mid to high 90s. He has an outstanding split finger pitch. And every now and then he'll throw one of those tantalizing 65 to 70 mile an hour curveball. Doesn't throw it very often, but every now and then he'll mix that into his pitch selection. He'll be facing Rafael Furcal, Marcus Giles, and Chipper Jones here in the top half of the 1st inning. On a cool night, boy, does this feel good after about 30 days in a row of very warm temperatures, whether the Braves were on the road or back home in Atlanta where that heat wave has continued. It's only going to be about, maybe 70 degrees or so at game time, and a pretty strong breeze blowing in tonight from left center field. So you actually have some players who have taken the field who are wearing the long sleeve shirts underneath their jerseys tonight, and you may see more of them as the night progresses. Rafael Furcal about set to step in and lead things off for Atlanta. And as he does, to tell you all about it, once again, Don Sutton.
All right, Pete, thanks a lot. And hi, everybody. It is a good night to be a pitcher in Wrigley Field. Funny, I don't remember being able to say that too many times as a player, but it is blowing straight in from left field toward the Braves dugout along the first base line at about 20, 25 miles an hour. Rafael Furcal will start things. Giles to follow, then Chipper Jones. Braves with a win last night, able to make it a 6-6 homestand that saw them play against San Francisco, Arizona, LA, and San Diego, the best of the West. And now open this 1-week, 6-game road trip, starting in Chicago, then up the freeway to Milwaukee. Furcal in at a .276 batting average. First pitch bunted right back out to Zambrano. He snaps it over to first, and we're underway. Bulova time at first pitch here in Chicago, 7:08 Central Daylight Time. Bulova available at It's About Time store near you. 1 pitch, 1 out, 1-3 on the putout, and here's Marcus Giles. Giles, a pretty good homestand. Marcus, hair 2 below 300, had 14 hits in that 12-game homestay, hitting .292. And the first pitch to it, swung on and missed. A fastball up around the letters, 0-1. 304 for the year with 8 home runs, and if you followed Marcus, you know he has been tallying up the doubles. 37 in the doubles column. Another fastball is high, and it's 1-1.
Those 2 fastballs reading 96 and 97 miles an hour.
He's a quick worker, is Zambrano, and he shoots a fastball in on the fist of Giles. Marcus files it up over the seats, and now bouncing back down on the field, 1-2. Zambrano can get you out. Zambrano is a guy who stays in complete command of the ballgame as long as everything goes his way. Fastball in around the ankles, 2-2. But there have been times in his career when an umpire's call a booted ball by a teammate, something that drops in, and he kind of loses control of the ballgame. 2-2, and excuse me, foul lined up over the Braves dugout, and it stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway on an unusual August night here in Chicago. Very cool, brisk night. fastball down and in will make it 3-2. Kind of the puffy clouds coming in off Lake Michigan. First the 3-2 to Giles, rolled toward short, cut off there by Aramis Ramirez. He'll go to first. Big stretch by Derek Lee. 2 ground ball outs, 2 gone, and a nice play by Aramis Ramirez, and here's Chipper. But this is one of those nights when we look out, and where we are, we can look out to the east over Lake Michigan. That's the kind of low clouds that you see down our way coming up from Pensacola and Destin just before Thanksgiving.
That wind has to be blowing straight in from right field before you're really worried about the weather.
That's true. Here's Chipper, and the first pitch on the way to him. That's hit off the fist. Going to drift back into the crowd off to the left. And for Chipper, 2 out of 11 against the Padres, and he made some of the other teams pay because he hit 455 for the Homestead. Now up to 309. Fastball almost got him around the belt buckle. This is one of those nights, I don't know if you heard the Bobby Cox show talking about some of the things the wind can do in this ballpark. But there is no such thing as a routine pop-up tonight or a routine fly ball. And remember games here where the left fielder on a night like this would go back to the wall and then catch the ball like it was coming over his shoulder. Fastball inside to Chipper, 2-1 the count.
Yeah, you see some very strange things in this ballpark when the wind is blowing in or out.
That's why you don't give up on anything fouled off to the left side. Another ground ball headed to second. Down to 1 knee goes Walker. And the Braves are gone in order on 3 grounders. Tim Hudson heading to the mound. Bottom of the first coming up. No score from Wrigley.
Hey, this is Tim Hudson, and my first pitch is coming up.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Go to delta.com for all your travel needs. Check schedules and find the lowest fares. Buy your ticket and even check in from home. Save time. Log on. Delta, the official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Hi, Skip Carey here. You know, with my busy baseball schedule, I really rely on my Verizon wireless phone. Sometimes plans change on the fly, so I need to connect with family and friends right away. I tell you, Verizon Wireless has the best, most reliable wireless network going. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Visit a Verizon Wireless store today. I rely on Verizon Wireless. Do you?
Subject to 1 or 2 year agreement, $35 activation fee, $175 termination fee, other charges and restrictions.
A baseball player's average is often a good indicator of their popularity. When it's high, people love you. That's why Allstate works hard to maintain a high average. Just ask the more than 1 million people who switched their auto insurance to Allstate last year. They saved a high average of $338 a year. Big league insurance for peanuts. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Brave fans, to see how much you can save, call agent owner Bill House in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Savings based on data from new customers. Savings and availability will vary. Allstate Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
Timing of today's game is being provided by Bulova. Bulova watches are available at It's About Time stores. It's About Time and Bulova make a great team.
Deep left field, and that ball is going to be way out of here.
Don't miss a pitch tomorrow night as the Braves take on the Chicago Cubs.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves baseball on AM 850 WRUF, Gainesville.
Tim Hudson completing his warm-up tosses. For Tim, this is a very new event. The first time he's ever faced the Cubs, first time he's ever pitched in Wrigley. He is surrounded by Kelly Johnson in left, Andrews in center, Francoeur in right. Chipper and Adam LaRoche at the corners, up the middle, the duo of Furcal and Giles. Johnny Estrada back behind the plate. Bobby Cox telling us he's not 100%, but we're going to find out, and he's going to be out there. And for Hudson, start number 22, Tim 9 and 7. And he'll start it against Matt Lawton. The first pitch is chopped toward second. Coming over to grab it on a high hop is Giles, and there is out number 1. So Hudson starting like Zambrano, 1 pitch, 1 out. And he will face Todd Walker.
Sometimes the whole key to Tim Hudson's performance on any given day or night is how he does in that first inning. The games that he's sailed through the first inning with relative ease have usually been the ones that he's pitched his best games. Other times when he struggles, even if he doesn't give up a run, if he really has a tough time, has to make a lot of pitches in the first inning, those are the games that sometimes get away from him.
Here's your second baseman, Todd Walker, brings a 302 average to the plate, and Hudson misses low for ball 1. Walker Walker with 9 homers, 29 RBI. A terrific offensive ball player and a steady up-the-middle fielder for the Cubs. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, and Joe West, the home plate umpire, shoots the right hand out. It's 1-1. Walker with hits in 10 of his last 11 ball games, hitting over 360 during that period. That's bumped him up over the 300 mark. And Hudson's 1-1. Roll to the right side. LaRoche has got it. He'll toss to Hudson. So get ready, infielders, it looks like. 3 ground ball outs served up by Zambrano, and now 2 to Hudson, and he will face Derek Lee. Lee still a battler for the Triple Crown. His number's 349 on his batting average. Lee with 36 homers and 90 RBI. Open stands for the 6'6" first baseman who has really exploded this year offensively. Hudson sends it to the plate, fouls straight back into the screen, 0-1. That bounced off the screen, and Johnny Estrada just turned around and made the grab.
Didn't get the call, though.
No, didn't get it.
He tried.
Cubs coming off of a 3-3 road trip. Saw them go to Houston in Colorado. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's inside 1-1. We'd sure like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving all around the world in over 170 countries listening to today's game on the Armed Forces Network. Boy, are we happy to be able to send it out to you. Here's the 1-1. That's outside 2-1. And on behalf of all of us, sure appreciate what you're doing and hope you're getting a break from all of your work and soldiering and navying and whatever you're doing to enjoy some of tonight's ball game. Slider outside, and it's 3-1. We thank you for being out there for us. 3 balls and a strike to Lee. Be careful when you have to throw a cripple in there to Lee. That's chop foul outside a third. Chris Meyer coaching over at third. The Sarge over at first. Gary Matthews. Dusty Baker surrounding himself with some players that he himself played with. Full count to Lee. Hudson's 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. So Tim Hudson up to the task. 3 up and 3 down for the Cubs, and at the end of 1. No score from Wrigley Field.
A household inventory is a valuable asset if your home is ever vandalized or damaged. State Farm agent Perry McGriff in Gainesville has a brochure that makes it simple. Here are a couple of suggestions. Make a video or photo record of your household items. You can if you're listening to crystal clear sound and place these records in your safe deposit box. For a free brochure with more ideas, visit State Farm agent Perry McGriff at 1120 Northwest 13th Street in Gainesville.
Have you been turned down for a checking account? Do you need another chance? If all the banks have told you no, and even the credit unions can't help you, Florida Citizens Bank has a new checking account just for you. It's called New Chance Checking. No need to use a check cashing company to cash your payroll check ever again. You can have your own checking account. Stop by any Florida Citizens Bank branch and ask for New Chance Checking. It's simple. It's easy. New Chance Checking only at Florida Citizens Bank. Gainesville, Ocala. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Treat me with understanding. Drug and alcohol addiction is an equal opportunity disease. Treat me without judgment. Individuals in recovery deserve to be treated with respect for winning one of the hardest battles there is. Treat me with compassion. For drug and alcohol information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP.
1,600,000. That's how many students may be staying home from school every day and not learning because of a problem we need to do more to solve. And those who are bullying aren't the only ones that should be scared. Take a stand. Lend a hand. Stop bullying now. For more information, go to www.stopbullyingnow.hrsa.gov. This message is a public service of WRUF.
Join me, Jim Bohannon, weeknights at 10 for the Jim Bohannon Show on AM 850 WRUF, your hometown station.
Both Zambrano and Hudson off to a good start. Zambrano having to wait. ESPN carrying this as their part of their Monday night package. Former Braves announcer Dave O'Brien alongside Rick Sutcliffe sitting off to our left. Here's Andrew Jones to start things. He's a .272 hitter. Andrew atop the heap with homers. He's got 39 and 5 shy of the 100 mark in RBIs. but against Zambrano has not really had a good time. Only one hit in 10 tries against the right-hander. It was a homer, and the first pitch on the way. Slider upstairs for ball one. Andrew, Adam LaRoche, and Jeff Francoeur. The right-hander's next pitch, another slider. That's a call strike, 1-1. Joe West, Mike DeMuro, James Hoy, and Mark Carlson from home around to third, the umpiring crew. Swing and a miss by Andrew, late on a high fastball. Zambrano, when his fastball is down, will get the ground balls, but he still throws hard enough he can blow it by you upstairs as he did there with Andrew. Back with the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, foul tip, in and out of the mitt of Michael Barrett. That time, fastball down around the knees. And it stays a ball and 2 strikes. That ball fouled off, just caught a little piece of the mitt and just nailed Michael Barrett up on the left shoulder. Shakes it off. He's okay. Another 1-2 pitch from Zambrano. Hit high and deep to left field and foul. That ball was killed. That will give you an indication of how that wind is blowing.
That would not have been out of here.
It ended up about 15, 20 feet shy of the fence, 30 feet in the foul territory. I'm not sure you could get a howitzer out of here tonight, especially up high.
You're going to have to hit a line drive to get one over the left field wall. Right field might be a little bit easier, although that ball's going to hook on you. Get it high in the air.
It was enough to scare Michael Barrett into trotting out to the mound to tell Carlos Zambrano, we don't want to throw that pitch again. Zambrano, who has cut his ERA in half in the second half, misses outside. After the All-Star break, the right-hander with an ERA that's just about 125. The quick worker back with a 2-2. Swing and a miss by Andrew. And there's the first strikeout of the night recorded by Carlos Zambrano. He set down 4 in a row, and the Braves will send up Adam LaRoche.
I think what makes that fastball of his so tough is he has a short arm delivery. That ball's on you before you know it.
And usually a guy, you can look for one area for his fastball. Either he pitches up or he pitches down. This one is outside to LaRoche.
His delivery kind of reminds you of Bartolo Colon, who's got that same kind of short arm, 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
The 1-0 fastball is inside, and it's 2-0. LaRoche, 4 hits and 14 tries against the Padres. That's 286. That's about what he had during the homestand. Did pick up 1 home run. And a 2-0 pitch to him. Hit in the air to right center field. That's going to hook away from Patterson, but he's on the run. Bobbles it and makes the grab. It bounced out of his glove, down around the shoe tops, and Patterson able to recover and pick it off his shoe tops for out number 2.
He's got a big smile on his face out there. We'll take a look at the replay. Off the heel of his glove, off the heel of his glove again. Then he barehanded the ball off to the right of his shoe, about maybe 4 inches above the ground. Hit off his glove twice, and then as it was about to fall to the ground, he reached down with his throwing hand and caught the ball.
There's Jeff Francoeur. I know it's going to surprise you. Swings at the first one, and it's 0-1. I don't know that we can do real justice to that on radio, but get ready. You're going to see that a lot the next week. The play by Patterson. The 0-1 pitch to Francoeur. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Francoeur had a good homestand. He hit .320. Most of that damage done to Padre pitching, where he was 6 for 13. And here's the 0-2. 1, 2, 3, and down goes Francoeur. 1, 2, 3, and down go the Braves. 6 in a row set down by Zambrano. And in the middle of the second, no score.
Hey, check it out. This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Do you love baseball? Do you think opening day should be an intergalactic holiday? Do you think trees are just a waste of bats? Do you hear rotisserie chicken and automatically think of fantasy baseball? Well, if you love baseball, you'll love Delta.com. There you'll find our lowest fares for traveling to see your team play on the road. Log on, check in, and print your boarding pass. Delta is proud to be the official airline of the Atlanta Braves. Delta, good goes around.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You know, with my busy baseball schedule, I really rely on my Verizon wireless phone. Sometimes plans change on the fly, so I need to connect with family and friends right away. I tell you, Verizon Wireless has the best, most reliable wireless network going. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Visit a Verizon Wireless store today. I rely on Verizon Wireless. Do you?
Subject to 1 or 2 year agreement, $35 activation fee, $175 termination fee, other charges and restrictions.
The Atlanta Braves Radio Network brings the excitement of the Braves to area youth league baseball parks all summer long. Listen to Braves on the radio to find out when the Braves Radio Youth League Caravan will be at a park near you. The Braves Radio Youth League Caravan, brought to you in part by Beef O'Brady's Family Sports Pub, with over 20 locations in the Atlanta area, now serving you.
15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves baseball on AM 850 WRUF, Gainesville.
Atlanta Braves baseball brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. It's been all pitching so far. 9 up, 9 down, and Hudson will face Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez, the third baseman, a .304 hitter, 31 homers. He, too, has tallied the RBIs. He's got 92 of them. That's 2 more than his teammate Derek Lee. A right-handed hitter that one of Jim Hendry's best deals. He got him from Pittsburgh. First pitch from Hudson, swung on and missed. 0-1. Tim with 2 groundouts and a strikeout in the first inning. And Pete telling you how important it is that first inning for Hudson. He is throwing well now. Fastball low, 1-1. Ramirez, for the last 36 ball games, a .319 hitter. He has been getting a bunch of his RBIs during that stretch, 35 of them. A modest 3-game hitting streak on the line, and the pitch from Hudson swung on and missed. Right over the top of that sinking Hudson fastball. Ball and 2 strikes. Hudson in 133 innings, 83 strikeouts, and Tim's walk total higher than the American leaguers have seen him. It's up to 49. Foul tip hung on to by Johnny Estrada. So Hudson matching Zambrano pitch for pitch, 4 up and 4 down for Tim. And he'll turn his attention to Jeremy Burnett, the big right fielder. Burnett is an interesting guy to watch. He'll take some of the biggest, most awkward swings you've ever seen and then dump one along the left field line.
One of the most intense players in the game. Every at-bat's a season to him.
Swing and a miss at the first one. A sinker out away. .265 is batting average. A good year he's put in for the Cubs. 18 home runs. The RBI total up to 60. And he with a 4-game hitting streak. Fastball inside, 1-1.
And he's calmed down quite a bit from when he first came up.
They used to say about him, when he came to bat, you could see sawdust coming out of the handle of his bat. He squeezed it so tight. Back with the 1-1. Swing and a miss. And Hudson dealing on the corner to get strike 2.
I think he might be really feeling invigorated by this cool weather. This is the kind of weather he pitched in a lot out in Oakland. And remember, he had a couple of problems with the heat when he first encountered it this summer.
And the 1-2 to Burnett. Roll to the right side. LaRoche goes after it. Giles will field it. His throw to Hudson will take care of the putout. So Adam LaRoche getting a little bit out of position on that, but give credit to Hudson. He didn't hesitate. He was right there, and he set down 5 in a row.
And Marcus Giles' throw to him was a little bit high, and Hudson was kind of giving him the eye as he walked back to the mound about, wow, we were lucky on that one.
He also had a little bit of heat on that throw, too. Tim Hudson only about 25 feet away from him. And the Cubs with 2 gone here in the second will send up Michael Barrett. Barrett at .286 in the first pitch to him, a strike at the knees. Michael out of the Atlanta area.
Pace Academy. We got a Pace Academy and a Harrison High School product in the Cubs lineup tonight with Barrett and Corey Patterson.
And the 0-1 pitch way outside, 1-1. Barrett, another one on the ball club with a modest hitting streak. 5 hits in his last 4 ball games. And for the last month, the batting average that has seen him hit over .340. swing and a miss on the breaking ball, and he's down in the count, 1-2. Braves shade him to the right side. Everything hit in the air is going to drift toward the right field corner, and the 1-2 pitch rolled left side off the facing of the Cubs dugout. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Not a real home run night here tonight. And they tell me here that the wind has blown in more this year than it has blown out. Here's the 1-2. Barrett foul tips it. Johnny Estrada's got it. Hudson with a perfect inning. 6 up and 6 down for Zambrano. 6 up and 6 down for Hudson. End of 2, no score.
If you've been injured or have an orthopedic problem, you want immediate access to quality care. The Orthopedic Institute is your answer. The Orthopedic Institute offers a unique combination of 20 board-certified experienced specialists in orthopedic injuries, sports medicine, knee, hip, and shoulder surgery, hand surgery, foot and ankle surgery, spine and neurosurgery, and plastic and reconstructive surgery. Make your appointment today in one of the Orthopedic Institute's offices in Gainesville, Lake City, Chiefland, Perry, or Alachua by calling 352-336-6000.
I'm a business owner. I want a local bank that's strong, stable, and going to be here for me.
With assets over $250 million, locally owned M&S Bank is strong enough to help your business with all its needs. With a 46-year history right here in this community, it has the stability you can count on. Other banks come and go. M&S Bank stays and grows. Money and service since 1959.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Alachua County Crisis Center is seeking volunteers to become crisis line counselors. 60 hours of training are provided. This is an opportunity to impact the community and to gain life-enhancing communication skills. The next training class begins Saturday, September 17th. Please contact Dana at 352-264-6779 or visit crisiscenter.alachua.fl.us for more information.
Gain 1,000 pounds and feel good about it. Adopt a manatee for someone you love and help ensure the survival of an endangered species. For more information, call Save the Manatee Club at 1-800-432-JOIN. That's 1-800-432-JOIN. Or visit the website at www.savethemanatee.org.
I'm Lou Dobbs with the NBC Financial Report on AM 850 WRUF.
WRUF, Gainesville.
It has been all pitching by Zambrano and Hudson for the first 2 innings. Only 1 out recorded in the outfield. Braves will send up hitter number 7 in the batting order. That's Kelly Johnson. Kelly at 244 with 9 homers, 38 RBIs, followed by Johnny Estrada and then Hudson. That game in Pittsburgh is now headed to the bottom of the 5th. It's St. Louis 3, Pittsburgh 1 on our Georgia Power scoreboard. First pitch to Kelly Johnson, a strike. Georgia Power, as you know, a Southern company. 0-1 to Kelly. Zambrano, quick worker, back with the fastball at the belt buckle. And it's 1-1. Kelly, a decent homestand, hit up over 290, 5 out of 15 against San Diego, and he has already kind of stamped himself as a guy who is going to be streaky, swing and a miss. Remember, he started his year going 1 for 30, then turned it around, and he's hit about 275 since that spell. But the last month has seen him hit it right around 220, way outside with the fastball. Count all even at 2-2. Sometimes at Wrigley Field, you watch a game and you can see the wind shift on you. That doesn't look like it's going to be the case tonight. Line drive, left field. In goes Lawton. Now back goes Lawton. Almost got turned around, and that ball, almost like it was flying under the radar, never got high enough to be affected by the wind. And Lawton had to reverse his field and track down a liner. Second outfield out recorded by the Cubs. And 7 in a row. Here's Johnny Estrada. Johnny just activated off the DL today, missed about 14 ball games with a strain in his back and his neck, and the first pitch high to him for ball 1.
He's had a couple of problems. He's had the problem up around the neck, and then he's also had a lower back problem, which was plaguing him a little bit just before he went on the DL.
Pitch to Johnny, fouled off his foot, and it's 1-1. And he traces most of that back to the collision.
Yeah, the collision with Darren Erstad, he said, was when it all began.
The back causes him not to be able to bend and seems to hurt him a little bit more from the right-handed batter's box than the left. Here's the 1-1 to it. That's hit in the air left field. This time Lawton most certainly will come in, and he does, and make the grab. Let's pause for station identification. You're part of the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville. Brought to you by the WRUF Sports Club members, Florida Pest Control, Bossart Realty Services, and Florida Citizens Bank.
Tim Hudson, the first time ever facing the Cubs, getting his first swing in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, and comes away empty 0-1. Even with interleague play, it struck me as odd that Hudson had never faced the Cubs. He has faced a number of hitters in their lineup, and there's strike two at the knees, and all of a sudden Hudson down in the count 0-2.
And he faced him a few times in spring training.
Oh my gosh, yes, about every other start. Here's the 0-2. Outside with the fastball. Well, there used to be fewer teams out in Arizona, so you'd see the same faces over and over and over.
Yeah, it used to be only 6 teams out there.
Here's the 1-2 to Hudson. Tim swings and misses, and 9 in a row set down by Zambrano. Good pitching, the order of the night here at Wrigley, and at the end of 2.5, no score.
This is Atlanta Braves Baseball.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Okay, the top 3 reasons my house is full of energy-saving products. Number 3, I save energy. I save money. Number 2, it makes me look smart. Not that I need the help. And number 1, it gives me another excuse to go to the Home Depot.
From appliances to ceiling fans, windows to doors, you'll find more than 1,800 energy-saving items, many of which have earned a trusted Energy Star rating. At the Home Depot, you can do it, we can help.
Hi, folks, I'm Skip Carey, and I'm here to tell you that Georgia Power wants every day to be a great day. That's why Georgia Power wants to remind you about the seriousness of power lines. Whether they're downed or otherwise, make sure you always leave them alone and don't touch them or go near them. And if you ever see any downed power lines, please remember to play it safe by calling and reporting them. The number to call for downed lines is 888-660-5890. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Timing of today's game is being provided by Bulova. Bulova watches are available at It's About Time stores. It's About Time and Bulova make a great team.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. The high fly ball belted left field deep. Hit the wall, and it's gone.
Braves baseball. Don't miss a pitch tomorrow night as the Braves take on the Chicago Cubs.
Atlanta Braves Baseball.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF, Gainesville.
Sun setting off to our left, back in the west here in Illinois, and off to our right, looking toward Lake Michigan. Some tall high-rises, and it's glowing a brilliant orange. It looks like the buildings are on fire, the clouds turning gray. It is an autumn-like evening here. And Pete, a little bit of a conference between Joe West and Dusty Baker. I wonder what that was all about.
I don't know. He talked with Dusty Baker for just about the whole time between the top and bottom half of the inning, and then just before returning to his position behind the catcher, Johnny Estrada, he walked over to the Braves dugout and relayed some information to Bobby Cox, and I can't imagine what that might have been about.
Bobby nodded his head like, okay, that's fine. I'm in agreement with that. You wonder if maybe there was somebody in the Cubs dugout he was asking permission to stay in there.
Could be. Here's Nathy Perez leading things off, hitting .273 this year with 9 homers. He has a 5-game hitting streak, and the first pitch from Tim Hudson, inside corner fastball, strike 1. No score, no runs, no hits, no nothing for either team. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Line down the right field line. That's foul. You've got to be a little more alert than you used to down in that bullpen now. The bullpen's just off in foul territory in both right and left field, but in the right field area, they've added about 3 extra rows of seats, which come right down onto the field. And that bullpen bench, next pitch is inside to Nathy Perez, 1-2. That bullpen bench, which used to be right up against the front row, is now got 3 rows of seats shielding it. So you can't really see it all that well. Here's the 1-2 on the way, and it's grounded foul by Perez over toward the Braves dugout. Count remains 1-2, and they have major expansion projects ahead for Wrigley Field. They're going to increase their seating capacity to about 41,000 by adding more bleacher seats.
And there is room to do that between the right field foul pole.
Swing and a miss by Perez, and a pitch down and in, strike 3. Boy, both pitchers are sharp here early. That's 4 strikeouts already for Tim Hudson, and that'll bring up Corey Patterson, who really hasn't been able to get it going this year. He was even sent back to the minor leagues for a while, only hitting .231. He has 12 homers, 28 RBIs, and an alarming 92 strikeouts and 359 at-bats. He's another local kid from the Atlanta area, from Kennesaw, played his high school ball at Harrison High School. Left-hand hitter, the first pitch from Tim Hudson on the way to Corey Patterson. Swing and a miss, 0-1. John Thompson tomorrow night against Jerome Williams, and a day game on Wednesday, Mike Hampton against Mark Pryor. Then the Braves will head up to Milwaukee, off day there on Thursday, and a weekend series of the Brewers starting Friday night. Here's the 0-1 pitch, ground ball foul down the right side and past the Braves bullpen. This one will ricochet out into right field, and Jeff Francoeur will run it down and secure himself an all-star vote for next year by flipping it up into the seats. The count 0-2 on Corey Patterson. The look in by Hudson. And the 0-2 pitch, Patterson takes inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Francoeur talking in an article about how in Atlanta there's a group of fans out behind him in right field that are on him. They're friends and people he's known. There will be a group here too, but they are not friends and people he's known.
Here's the 1-2 on the way. Patterson takes it upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The bleacher bums at Wrigley. There's a pecking order out there too. I mean, it's known that certain seats go to certain people, and you don't dare sit in those seats without being asked to.
The 2-2 hit foul again over toward the Braves dugout. Hits off the railing and rolls down the right field line. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Game starting tonight at 7:05 Chicago time. I'll guarantee you folks were in line for those bleacher seats at noon.
Yes. And you see the same faces there.
Now the wind, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. A swing and a foul tip. That one off the shin guard of Johnny Estrada. And Patterson stays alive, 2-2. Pitcher Carlos Zambrano on deck.
You mentioned the expansion plans here. When those first came out about making the bleacher area larger, it prompted some lawsuits from the people across the street.
I don't know if those have been settled yet either. I think there's still some legal wranglings to come on that. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball slowly hit right side. Fielded by LaRoche. Throws to Hudson, covering in time. That's 3 putouts in the game for Tim Hudson. He has handled 1 in each inning. And he's retired 8 in a row. Carlos Zambrano's retired 9 in a row. So 17 hitters in a row have been retired in this game. And now Zambrano will hit. And he's a good hitter. .259. He has a homer. He has 5 RBIs. He has 4 career home runs. Left-hand batter. And not an automatic out by any means. No score, bottom of the 3rd. The wind by Hudson. The pitch to Zambrano is low, ball 1. Now the wind by Hudson. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball low and inside, 2-0. As is the case at Turner Field, here at Wrigley Field, when they play a night game, all the lighting comes from one side of the ballpark. There's no backlighting in the outfield. Next pitch on the way, swing and a miss. The count 2-1.
Well, the poles, if they had put them out there, would interfere with the people across the street watching free baseball. There are some very creative seats across the street on the top of those buildings.
Now a 2-1 pitch on the way to Zambrano, fouled off to the right, 2-2. There's a sign that I've always been intrigued by, and I always have to ask exactly, because I can never remember from year to year what it means. The sign says AC02 6097. And here's what that stands for. After championship, 2 years since a division title, 60 years since a National League title, 97 years since a World Series title. Ground ball to second by Zambrano. Fielded by Giles on to first in time, and that's 9 straight. Retired by Tim Hudson. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs at the end of 3. Still no score.
If you want the best, visit the Framing Center at Central Florida Office Plus. Bring us your photos, diplomas, posters, paintings, and turn them into true works of art. Central Florida Office Plus, downtown on the corner of 6th and University.
If you can't do something yourself, get the best to do the job right. I'm W.T. Chestnut of Central Florida Office Plus. Our framing department is the best in the business. Bring us those precious pictures, photos, and diplomas. You won't be disappointed at Central Florida Office Plus.
Hey, Bob, my wife and I have decided we need to sell our home and find something with a little more room. You just sold your home, right? How'd it go?
Jim, you gotta call Bossart Realty Services. Let me tell you, this company sold our home in less than 30 days, and I couldn't believe the price they were able to get. Plus, they found us the home of our dreams, and we were able to finance the purchase and close on the transaction, all at the same company.
Wow, that sounds like just what we need.
Yeah, Bossart Realty has my business for life. You don't want to mess around when it comes to something as valuable as your home. If I were you, I'd call them today.
Call Bossart Realty at 371-6100 for all your real estate needs.
I didn't know aging would cause my body to process medications differently. I learned the hard way, but you don't have to. Call 1-800-662-HELP for the free brochure As You Age, a guide to aging, medicines, and alcohol. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the station.
Rafael Percal leads it off. Tried to butt his way on and was thrown out pitcher to first to start the game. Takes high from Zambrano. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's low and outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Marcus Giles waiting on deck. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's right through there for a called strike 2-1. Boy, both pitchers have got their good stuff working so far tonight. Zambrano working quickly. 2-1 pitch to Percal. Low and outside, ball 3. Only the second time in the game Zambrano's gone to a 3-ball count on a hitter. Big burly right-hander gets his sign from Barrett. And the 3-1 pitch on the way. Percal taking. It's a strike outside corner. Full count.
Zambrano has the ability to back down on his fastball, and when he does, he gets more movement.
Here's the 3-2 down the third baseline. That's a fair ball off the bat of Rafael Percal, trickling into the Cubs bullpen. Percal on his way to second, and there's your first base runner of the game, a leadoff double to start the 4th inning for Rafael Percal. That is, for Rafi, his 22nd double of the year. And it'll bring up Marcus Giles, who grounded out to third his first time up. Very special Braves fan listening tonight. And you fans in Thomasville, Georgia, know her very well. Mary Grubbs. Still hospitalized, recuperating from hip surgery. She does a pregame radio Braves show on WPIX. She's a retired school principal there. So, Mary, get well soon and keep up the good work. We'll try to get you a win here tonight in Chicago. Butted past Zambrano into field. Second baseman Walker underhand flip to Lee in time. A terrific play by Todd Walker on a sacrifice bunt by Marcus Giles. It almost turned into a base hit after it got past Carlos Zambrano. Moving over to third, Rafael Percal. Well, you don't see many 4-3 sacrifices, do you?
No, you don't. That was a play barehanding, diving, and getting it there about a half a step against Giles. Dusty Baker's already showing you that he thinks this might be a low-scoring ball game, isn't he?
Infield in already. And why not, the way both these pitchers have been going? Here's Chipper Jones. He grounded out to second his first time. Zambrano out of the stretch with Percal at third. First pitch to Chipper, swing and a miss, 0-1. This infield notoriously slow. The grass here a little bit higher than it is in most ballparks.
Bobby was laughing at Bobby Cox on the Bobby Cox show. He said they've cut it down to about 6 inches high.
Here's the 0-1 on the way. Hit foul in the air off to the left, drifting up into the seats. And the count on Chipper Jones goes to 0-2. They make all kinds of jokes about it. The Braves dugout is in the first base side here at Wrigley Field, and it's been said by some that you can't even see the outfield when you sit in that dugout. The infield grass is so high. Stretch by Zambrano. And the 0-2 pitch. Chipper swings, fouls this one straight back.
There used to be a shortstop for Kansas City named Freddie Patek. He was about 5'6", 5'6.5". All of us who knew him used to kid him and tell him, you couldn't play with the Chicago Cubs. And he said, he kept asking why. Finally, one day somebody told him, they'd lose you in the infield grass.
Runner at third, one out. No score, fourth inning. Zambrano out of the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch, Chipper Jones outside. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got a group of our sponsors here. WGST and 96 Rock, our flagship stations, entertaining a group of sponsors this 3-game series in Chicago. Had a nice lunch with them today. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. It's down low again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Chipper Jones. Andrew Jones waiting on deck. Here's the stretch and the 2-2 pitch on the way, and that's just a little bit low, ball 3, full count. Now a 3-2 pitch on the way to Chipper. There's a fly ball hit deep to right field. Burnett's looking up. This ball's gone. A 2-run homer for Chipper Jones deep into the right field seats. His 12th homer of the year. RBIs number 45 and 46. Here it comes, being thrown back onto the field, a Wrigley Field tradition. And the Braves take a 2-0 lead. No doubt about that one getting out of here.
And Zambrano shook off a Barrett call. Barrett called for the splitter. Zambrano shook it off to throw the fastball.
So Chipper delivers his 12th home run, gives the Braves a 2-0 lead. And with 1 out, here's Andrew Jones, who struck out his first time up. Zambrano winds and delivers, and Andrew takes it high, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Andrew. Strike in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew now just 1 for 11 in his career against Carlos Zambrano. 1-1 pitch on the way outside. 2-1.
Zambrano right now, Pete, a little angry. He's just grabbing the ball, trying to throw harder and harder and harder.
It's only the 13th home run he's allowed this year. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way, and the breaking ball is down low, 3-1. That's what you were talking about earlier. He tends to really react to things that develop over the course of the game, good or bad. Get him on a good roll, he can be almost unhittable. But he can also let a game get away when things don't go his way. The next pitch to Andrew is a strike in the outside corner. It's a full count now, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Andrews swings, little chopper down the third baseline. That goes foul. Ramirez fields it in foul territory, and before he can get it back to the pitcher, Joe West has thrown a new ball out to the pitcher. Ramirez was trying to get that ball back over to Zambrano, but too late. Had a little scratch on it.
I like his try.
He tried.
That's a thinking man's third baseman.
Again, the wind. The 3-2 pitch now to Andrew Jones. Line drive, left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Corey Patterson up with it. Gets it back to the infield. And 3 hits in the inning. Second time around the lineup has been a good one for Atlanta against Zambrano. Runner at first now with only 1 out. And that'll bring up Adam LaRoche, who flied out to center his first time up. And now Michael Barrett out to the mound. Have a chat with Zambrano, maybe suggesting they try a different tack. meeting breaks up. Now LaRoche stepping in. Stretch Zambrano, and the pitch to LaRoche on the way, low and outside ball, and Adam now 0 for his last 10. So he could use a base hit here. Andrew Jones at first, Lee holding him, the look over. And a 1-0 pitch to LaRoche, swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Over there in first base where Glenn Hubbard goes over to say something now to Andrew Jones, and you've got Andrew with his 39 home runs, Derek Lee with 36. You got 75 home runs over there at first base right now. 1-1 the count on LaRoche. Braves up 2-0 after the Chipper Jones homer and a throw to first, just a lob toss over. Andrew back safely.
You ever notice how many throws Andrew gets made over to first with him standing on the bag?
Or not very far off it.
Now he's got a big lead.
And again a throw over. This time a little more mustard on it, and they thought they had him. That was pretty close. But Mike DeMuro says safe at first. It was close. Well, I don't know. That replay that we just looked at. Whoa. I have a feeling that the replay showed that Andrew may indeed have been out there, and the Braves got a break on the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on LaRoche as he fouls off the 1-1 pitch. Another full house here at Wrigley Field. All they have to do is turn the lights on here, and it fills up. Game or no game. And every rooftop across the street, Waveland and Moreland Avenues, full of people. Here's the 1-2 pitch, grounded off the end of the bat, fouled on the third base side. It remains a ball and 2 strikes. For a called double to open the inning after a sacrifice punt by Giles, Chipper Jones homered. And then a base hit by Andrew Jones. Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Adam LaRoche, and Zambrano out there shaking his head. And he's not shaking off a sign. He's just shaking his head. Now he's looking in for the sign. The check of the runner. Long look this time, and the 1-2 pitch to LaRoche outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The preseason talk about the Cubs' possibility of having the best starting rotation in baseball this year if they had a healthy Kerry Wood and a healthy Mark Pryor. And almost everything you read would always say the same thing. The guy with the best stuff in the rotation is probably Carlos Zambrano. He doesn't get near the publicity that Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor have gotten, injured or well. Here's the stretch. And the 2-2 to LaRoche. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Went up and in with a fastball and got him. And that is strikeout number 4 for Zambrano. Out number 2 in the inning with the Braves up 2-0. Jeff Francoeur will be the hitter. He struck out his first time. Finally drew his first walk in last night's game. It was intentional, though. He still hasn't drawn an unintentional walk, and he's had 132 plate appearances now. Stretching the pitch, Francoeur hits one off the end of the bat, foul, 0-1. Glenn Hubbard, his first base coach, when he got down there after the intentional walk, the first words Glenn said to him was, "That doesn't count."
I didn't see it, so I wondered how close he came to swinging at one of them.
0-1 the count now on Francoeur. The stretch by Zambrano and the pitch, breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Over at first, Andrew Jones gets his lead. Throw over, and Andrew tips throws back safely. He hadn't gotten very far off the bag that time. Count remains 1 ball, 1 strike, and Francoeur. We're in the 4th inning with the Braves leading at 2-0 after the Chipper Jones home run. Here's the stretch by Zambrano. And a 1-1 pitch. Fastball inside, 2-1. Look at all the guys now that have sleeves as the evening cools. The next pitch to Francoeur. He checked his swing, but he went around, says Joe West, and the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was an off-speed. That was that curveball. Maybe one of the first ones he's thrown tonight. That off-speed breaking ball. He throws 95, 96, 97, and when he throws that curveball, the speed on that's only about 74, 75. Now the right-hander stretches. And the 2-2 pitch to Francoeur on the way, and it's punched foul off to the right, up into the seats. Still 2-2.
It's funny, almost all the guys wearing the long sleeves are guys who grew up closer to the equator. As the night gets colder, those guys getting shorter and shorter sleeves.
Andrew Jones again getting his lead over at first. Here's the stretch. And here's the 2-2 pitch to Francoeur. Swing and a miss. Tied him up with an inside fastball. Strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Zambrano. And that's out number 3 in the inning. But a good top half of the 4th for Atlanta. 2 runs on 3 hits. And the Braves strand 1. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's Atlanta 2, the Cubs nothing.
Hey, it's Chipper Jones, and this is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Alan McGee was always a little slow. He was slow to hear the news.
What happened to Montreal's baseball team?
He was slow to catch on.
They don't make basketball cleats?
He was slower than slow.
Touchdown, 5 points.
So when it came to his internet connection, naturally, Alan had slow dial-up.
This file's taking forever to download.
Then Alan found out about Bell South Fast Access DSL high-speed internet for just $24.95 a month every month. Now it's easy for him to connect and download fast.
Got it.
And because the price is now just $24.95 a month every month, fast is more affordable than ever. It's a new life for Alan McGee, and it shows.
How's Brooklyn doing this year?
Sometimes it shows. Visit fastaccess.com today and get Bell South Fast Access DSL for just $24.95 a month every month. No gimmicks, no limited time pricing, guaranteed. Plus, get a free modem when you order online, only from Bell South. Listening, answering. Price for Fast Access DSL Lite. Rates automatically applied to new residential customers only. Taxes, fees, and other charges apply, subject to geographic and other restrictions. See website for details. Free modem after rebate with 12-month commitment.
Timing of today's game is being provided by Bulova. Bulova watches are available at It's About Time stores. It's About Time and Bulova make a great team.
Do you know about the Home Depot 10% price guarantee? Find a lower price on an identical in-stock item and another retailer and Home Depot will match and beat it by 10%. The Home Depot, you can do it, we can help. One catch.
Langer hands with a diving catch in left field.
Can change the game.
To end the ball game.
Hear every catch only on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, 2-0. Atlanta on top. In the top of the order, Matt Lawton, who grounded out to second, leads it off against Tim Hudson, who's retired 9 straight. First pitch to Lawton, a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. Atlanta Braves baseball, proudly sponsored by Delta Airlines, now offering simple fares. Check for your best Delta fare at delta.com. Good goes around. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Matt Lawton. He hits him. Tried to come in on him, and he hit him on the right arm. And Lawton trots down to first base. The first base runner of the night for the Cubs, hit by a Tim Hudson pitch. That came out of nowhere after all the good control that Hudson's been showing tonight. And that'll bring up Todd Walker, who grounded out to first, his first time up. Nothing Atlanta. Lawton still walking it off a little bit down past first base. That one got him pretty good. Mike DeMuro, the first base umpire, asked Lawton if he's all right. He says, yep. And gets on the bag. And now Walker steps in. The left-hand hitting second baseman awaiting the pitch from Tim Hudson, who checks the runner at first. And delivers to Walker, and this is high ball one. Tomorrow night, John Thompson against Jerome Williams. Two very big games coming up tomorrow and Wednesday as Thompson and Hampton try to get their game turned around after a couple of shaky starts for both. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In for a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Look at this. Hot coffee being brought into the broadcast booth on this cool night. Thank you, Don.
We haven't had to do that too many times in August in Chicago.
It is such an invigorating evening after all the heat that everybody in the Braves traveling party has experienced over the last month and a half. Remember, before the Braves got back home for that 2-week homestand where it was about 95 degrees every day, they had a week in St. Louis and Cincinnati, and prior to that they were in Phoenix. Even though you play indoors, 116 degrees during the day outside. So this feels great. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Walker. Stretching the pitch. Line drive down the right field line. That's going to be the first hit of the game off of Hudson. It's going to get all the way into the corner. Matt Lawton on his way to third. They're going to hold him now as the throw comes back to the relay man, Marcus Giles. The crowd a little bit disappointed in that decision to hold Matt Lawton by third base coach Chris Spire. But obviously Chris Spire has read the reports on the arm of Jeff Francoeur and did not want to take a chance with nobody out of losing a possible run here. That's a double for Todd Walker. Runner second and third now, and the batter will be Derek Lee. Lee struck out his first time up.
And it was a wise decision, too, because Francoeur came up throwing and hit Marcus Giles right in the letters. So Giles had the ball in his hands when Spire threw up the stop sign.
Here's Lee now. Runner second and third. Nobody out. Braves up 2-0. Cubs trying to get those 2 runs right back. Stretched by Hudson. And the pitch to Derek Lee on the way, and he takes a breaking ball on the way. Ball 1. Wind blowing in tonight from left center field. Anything hit high in the air to left or left center is going to get knocked down by that wind, but the ball will carry to right, as Chipper Jones showed us. Now the stretch by Hudson and the 1-0 pitch. That missed outside. Ball 2, getting into a dangerous count here with Derek Lee, 2-0. Lawton off third, Walker off second, the stretch by Hudson. And the 2-0 pitch is low, ball 3. Ramirez on deck. Hudson stretches. Here's the 3-0 pitch. There's a strike in the outside corner. Derek Lee wasn't sure. In fact, he turned around and looked at Joe West while he made the call, then kind of reacted to the call with a little bit of disbelief. 3-1 the count now, and Derek Lee. The big right-hand hitter awaits the 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Low and outside, he walked him. Well, now Tim Hudson's in a mess. Bases loaded, nobody out before Aramis Ramirez hit. Let's pause for station identification on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville. Brought to you by the WRUF Sports Club members, Florida Pest Control, Balsart Realty Services, and Florida Citizens Bank.
Here's Ramirez now. He struck out his first time up. He bats here with the bases loaded, nobody out. 2-0 Atlanta. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And And Hudson ready to go to work on Ramirez out of the stretch. He delivers. Hit foul on a play right side up into the crowd. No balls, one strike. Great headline in the Chicago Sun-Times today after Randy Johnson's performance yesterday where he gave up 4 home runs in 1 inning to the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago Sun-Times, the tabloid newspaper here in Chicago, on the back page the headline said, "Foregone conclusion." And indeed there were 4 balls gone in that 6th inning against Randy Johnson yesterday. Stretch by Hudson. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging a foul off at the plate. Now Ramirez in a hole, 0-2.
A couple of good newspapers here. I always enjoy reading them.
Good newspaper town. Good town, period. It's never a bad time to come to Chicago. Even in the wintertime when I've been here doing basketball, it's fun to come to this place. As cold and windy as it might be that time of year.
So it's never a bad time to come here, huh?
Nope.
You never pitched with the wind blowing out here, did you?
I broadcast with the wind blowing out. Stretching the 0-2 pitch is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, your words carry further when the wind's blowing out. Not half as far as the baseball carries.
That's true.
It is a terrific town. Been one of my favorites to visit for 40 years.
Here's the stretch. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball slowly toward short. Fielded by Percall to second one. Giles on to first. In-time double play. Good turn by Marcus Giles. In to score is Matt Lawton. No RBI. Hitting into the double play for Aramis Ramirez. I didn't think they were going to have time to get to on that. It was not hit that hard. But Percall got it quickly over to Marcus Giles. The turn by Giles, sensational. That was quick. And his throw right on the mark. So now it's 2-1 Atlanta. Moving over to third is Todd Walker. Lee is out at second. Ramirez out at first. And here's Jeremy Burnitz, who grounded out to second his first time up. Out of the stretch, Hudson. His pitch to Burnitz on the way. Fastball strike inside corner, 0-1. In the 0-1 delivery. Strike 2 call, says Joe West, on a pitch that was borderline knee high and borderline outside corner. That causes Burnitz to step out of the box. Now he steps back in. 0-2 the count. Stretch by Hudson. 0-2 pitch to Burnitz on the way. Just off the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Atlanta, runner third, 2 outs, 4th inning. Stretch by Hudson, 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tim Hudson tied him up inside. He records his 5th strikeout of the game, and after a bases loaded, nobody out situation, Hudson out of it, allowing just the 1 run and retaining the lead. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left. And at the end of 4, it's Atlanta 2, Chicago 1.
Here's the perfect game plan for protecting your home from termites. Call Florida Pest Control and ask for Termidor, the best termite protection treatment we've seen in our 55-year history. I'm D.R. Sapp, president. Your home is the biggest investment you'll ever make. Florida Pest Control will apply Termidor, perform annual inspections, and guarantee your protection with damage repair coverage. Call for a free inspection and estimate. Florida Pest Control. The only bugs we can't control are litter bugs.
Your business is growing, but your office space isn't. Here's the solution. Buy or lease a brand new office warehouse condominium at Quality Professional Center in a convenient Northwest Gainesville Industrial Park. For a limited time, a 1,200 square foot unit costs just $92.9 or lease for $7.95 a month. That's 500 square feet of heated, cooled office space and 700 square feet of attached warehouse space. Get growing. Call owner Brian Nasworth at 337-1830.
One voice can get the point across. Two are stronger. Add more and we're stronger than ever. That's the power of a community coalition. They help community groups fight to keep kids away from drugs. Visit helpyourcommunity.org to see how your group can help, because you get more when you get together. Brought to you by the Office of National Drug Control Policy and the Ad Council.
We are people of all ages with hopes and dreams. We are the family and friends of alcoholics, and our lives are controlled by someone else's drinking. We want our lives back. If you need help, call Al-Anon and Alateen at 1-888-4-ALANON. To help them, you have to help yourself first.
I'm Dr. Joy Brown. Be sure to buy, sell, and trade all of your stuff on Tradio Saturday mornings at 7 on AM 850 WRUF.
WRUF, Gainesville.
Heading to the top half of the fifth inning. This is our Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning. Today's contestant, Bertha Sue Begley from Sharpsburg, Georgia. If a Brave hits a home run, Bertha Sue wins today's jackpot of $700. A grand slam pays her $10,000. The enter, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning, 1819 Peachtree Street, Suite 700, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. Kelly Johnson takes ball 1 low and away from Zambrano. 2-1 Atlanta. Next pitch to Kelly Johnson up high, and it's 2-0. He flied to left his first time up. 2 runs, 3 hits for Atlanta. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cubs. Swing and a miss by Johnson. And the count 2-1. Zambrano quickly gets his sign, comes right back with a 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Like a slider, 2-2. Here's the wind, the 2-2 pitch on the way. Johnson takes it low, 3-2. The Cubs 4 games under 500. They're still talking about making a run at the playoffs, but it's been all talk so far this season. They really haven't been able to mount any kind of a real push. Next pitch to Kelly Johnson, off speed, swing and a miss. The ball dropped by Barrett, picks it up and throws down to first. And Kelly Johnson, strikeout victim number 6 of the night for Zambrano. And they've got 6 teams ahead of them in the wild card race, so that's going to be awfully, awfully tough.
Well, it's a point you made a lot. It's not so much how far you're out, but how many teams do you have to climb over to get there?
Johnny Estrada will be the batter. He flied to left his first time up. You never want to count anybody out that's still mathematically alive, and indeed the Cubs are, but boy, it'd have to be a real collapse of every single one of those teams ahead of them in the wild card race. They're never going to catch St. Louis. That's an impossibility just about at this stage. Next pitch hit foul down past Glenn Hubbard. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. So their only hope is the wild card, and it would take a complete collapse by everybody ahead of them. Plus a hot finish by the Cubs for them to get there. Stranger things have happened, but it's very unlikely. 1-1 to Estrada on the way. Japanese for strike 1 and 2.
And what makes that virtually impossible is the guys ahead of them are either Houston or in the Eastern Division. And the teams in the Eastern Division are going to be playing each other, so one of them is going to be winning.
Or 2. Yeah, every night. Here's the wind by Zambrano on the 1-2 pitch. There's a fly ball, well hit left center field, but up into that wind. It'll get knocked down, and Corey Patterson there to make a catch. And there are 2 gone here in the 5th inning, and that'll bring up Tim Hudson, who struck out his first time up.
Ball hit toward left center field, slicing into the wind, was hammered, but it looked like somebody popped a parachute on it about 340 feet out.
Here's Hudson now with 2 outs and the base is empty. We're in the 5th inning with the Braves on top 2-1. The pitch to Hudson is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. All around Major League Baseball now. All the other games that are going on. St. Louis at Pittsburgh and Toronto at New York and Cleveland at Tampa Bay. Pitch to Hudson is hit foul off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're updating you on the score of the Braves-Cubs game, and they're all saying wind must be blowing in tonight. It's only 2-1 in the 5th inning. Now the wind by Zambrano, and the 1-1 pitch to Hudson. Breaking ball, strike on the outside corner. A beauty, 1 and 2. next pitch is a fastball. Strike 3 called outside corner. That is strikeout number 7 already for Zambrano. 1, 2, 3 go the Braves in the 5th. No winner in our home run jackpot inning. So the Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning grows in value for tomorrow night. At the end of 4 1/2, it's Atlanta 2 and the Cubs 1.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
What can you depend on in baseball? Secret hand signals. The 2 fingers down, the tug on the earlobe, even that patty cake thing. We're not sure what they mean, but they must be working. Why else would grown men willingly gesture to each other like French street mimes? What can you depend on in shipping? No secret there. On-time deliveries from UPS. In fact, UPS delivers more packages on time than anyone without hand signals. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Great news, Braves fans. The Atlanta Braves are proud to bring you the McDonald's Outfield Advantage. Every Wednesday home game this season, fans can buy 1 ticket in the lower outfield pavilion section and get a second ticket free. That's 2 lower-level tickets for only $20. Also, any fan with a ticket from a 2005 Wednesday Braves home game will receive a free medium drink or dessert item at participating Atlanta area McDonald's through the end of the season. For tickets, visit AtlantaBraves.com or call 1-800-326-4000.
We head now to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Braves leading it 2-1. I want to remind you when the Braves get back home, and they'll be back home next week to take on the Washington Nationals. Bring the kids along. The new Tuner Field is now open. You can let the kids play in the Braves' new baseball-themed interactive kids area depicting Cartoon Network characters. For tickets, visit AtlantaBraves.com or call 1-800-326-4000. Here's Michael Barrett, who struck out his first time, popping the first pitch foul back into the crowd. Souvenir for someone. 0-1 the count, and Barrett. A full house here at Wrigley. Here's the 0-1 on the way to Michael Barrett. He takes up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. They are averaging a full house here at Wrigley this year. The average attendance for a game at Wrigley Field, 38,935. What is the whole, 38,937? Pretty close. Next pitch to Barrett outside. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And it would be a little bit high, 3-1. They could actually squeeze maybe 1 more person into this ballpark if they eliminated this booth. Pitch to Barrett, hit up the middle toward short for Call Fields. The throw to first, a 1-hopper, throws it by LaRoche. Safe at first is Barrett, but it's questionable whether a good throw would have gotten him there. We'll see if they give him a base hit, and they are going to give Michael Barrett a base hit on that. And that, I think, is the correct call. I don't think Furcal would have been able to get him despite the strength of his throwing arm. He had to go a couple of steps into center field after making that play to be able to pivot and throw. So it's a base hit for Barrett. The ball bounced off the screen in front of the Braves dugout, so it stayed in play. So no further advance possible. Here's Napi Perez now. It's only the second hit given up by Hudson. Perez struck out his first time.
They're averaging 700 empty seats a night.
That's all. And most of that happens early in the year when they get some ridiculously cold weather at times, and they have to play here, and they only sell 25 or 6,000 tickets on a day when it's 39 degrees. And once the warm weather comes along, it's a sellout every day. First pitch to Perez, a strike, 0-1. Runner at first, nobody out. 2-1 Atlanta, bottom of the 5th. Hudson delivers. Bouncing ball out toward short for Call. Steps on second, 1 on to first. He gets a double play. So the 6'3" twin killing takes care of the runner and the hitter. That's double play number 136 turned by Atlanta this year. The Braves lead the majors in fielding this year. And it's really saying something when you look at the number of double plays the Braves have turned compared to the number of errors they've made. They've made 64 errors all season. And they have turned 136 double plays, more than twice as many double plays as errors. Compare that to the Cubs, 85 errors and 105 double plays, almost an even number. Not much difference between them. Corey Patterson, first pitch swinging, big one-hopper to first. LaRoche has it. Underhand toss to Hudson in time. And that'll do it here in the fifth inning for the Cubs. The Bluebirds letting Chicago hear a little bit about what they think of their performance thus far tonight. No runs, one hit, none left. We played 5 with our score. Atlanta 2, Chicago 1.
Want to make an informed financial choice? Then you need to talk to the Lowry Group, an independently family-owned financial service company right here in Gainesville. Retirement, insurance, financial services, all the services you need to help address a healthy financial future. At the Lowry Group, if it's important to you, it's important to us. Call 333-7990 or visit us online at thelowrygroup.com. It never hurts to get a second opinion. The Lowry Group.
Did you know that the Gainesville Open MRI has been around for over 10 years, serving the Gainesville community? Did you know that you have your choice to watch a movie or cable TV while having your procedure? Did you know you can have your family or friends sit in with you? Did you know that the Gainesville Open MRI accepts most insurance plans? Board-certified radiologists are waiting to serve you at the beautiful Millennium Center on the corner of 43rd and Newberry. Call the Gainesville Open MRI today at 377-3100.
What do facial redness, bumps or pimples, and eye irritation have in common? Each can be a sign of rosacea, a potentially serious disorder that affects 14 million Americans. If you have signs of rosacea, see a dermatologist or call the National Rosacea Society toll-free at 1-888-NO-BLUSH.
As times change, our bodies process medications differently. That's why it's important to talk to your doctor or pharmacist about your medications. For a free brochure, As You Age, a guide to aging, medicines, and alcohol, call 1-800-662-HELP. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and this station.
Others may talk about the Gators, but the Gators only come to play on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville, your home of the Gators for over 70 years.
Another interesting touch that's new this year at Wrigley Field. They've got an advertising sign atop a building out in right field for one of the more popular beers around, but they have a exclusive slogan on that depending on who the Cubs are playing every series. Right now it says you can't tomahawk great taste. And that'll stay up for 3 days while the Braves are here in town. Go to the sixth inning, here's Dunn.
And for Call leading it off, he tomahawked one just inside the bag at third to get things going in the fourth. Zambrano catches the outside corner with a fastball. 0-1. A grounder back to the mound when he tried to bunt for Call, and then that double. Breaking ball bounces up there, and the count 1-1. Bottom of the seventh inning in Yankee Stadium, 2-0. They're shutting out Toronto. Tampa Bay, Cleveland 4-4. That's headed to the seventh. Swing and a miss by Call. 1-2 the count. I like what they put here on this old-fashioned scoreboard where the numbers are dropped by hand and where there have been all kinds of spy cases about stealing signs and a lot of intrigue about this scoreboard in straightaway center field. Here's a pitch to Call. That's drilled to left field. Coming on is Lawton and may have lost that in the lights, but makes the grab. He had to battle the light, but a good play by the left fielder, and here's Marcus Giles. But what I like is they tell you, Florida beat L.A. 5-2. St. Louis has beat Pittsburgh, that our game is there. But for the others, it's N-O-G-A-M-E. There's no game. There's nothing to chant.
There's not anything on the schedule involving those teams, so
no game.
No game.
First one to Giles is in there for strike one. Back quickly, straightens him up with a fastball. Marcus without a hit in one official tried. Pushed a heck of a sacrifice bunt his second time up, pushed it all the way out to Walker, and only a terrific play by Walker kept Marcus from getting a base hit. Sinker's low.
You see Marcus's quote in one of the Atlanta news stories today?
I'll let you tell me right after this. The 2-1 pitch, drilled toward short. 2 hops it in the glove of Napi Perez. He pumps once, and there's out number 2. What did it say?
Question was put to several members of the Braves, when do they feel comfortable with the lead they have in their division? Bobby Cox said when it gets to be about 15 games. Terry Pendleton said when it gets to be about 10 games. Marcus Giles said when I see the plastic. And they said the plastic? And they said, yeah, the plastic that covers the lockers on celebration night. And the Boo Birds for Chipper Jones, his homer, 2 RBIs. Braves runs. He fouls away the first one off to the left. Pause for station identification. This is the Braves Radio Network.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville. Brought to you by the WRUF Sports Club members, Florida Pest Control, Balsart Realty Services, and Florida Citizens Bank.
Change up from Zambrano is down low. 1-1 to Chipper. Zambrano, a quick worker, dead center of the pitching rubber, the wind and the pitch fisted along the left field line and into the crowd, and it's 1-2. Yeah, I read that article, and I'm reading along, and I wasn't reading ahead, and I have to admit, when I got to that point where he said, when I see the plastic, I had no idea what he was talking about either. 1-2 to Chipper Jones. Top of the 6th, Braves up 2-1. First of 3 from Wrigley. Fastball, bounce towards second. Walker backhands it. And once again for Zambrano, a 1-2-3, 6th inning. Braves go in order. Middle of the 6th, still lead it 2-1.
This is John Small. You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball. You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Okay, top 3 reasons I love my new ceiling fan. Number 3, the neighbors have seen it. The neighbors have said, ooh. Number 2, it makes my living room a little cooler, in every sense of the word. And the number 1 reason, I found it at the Home Depot, which means it's affordable, even though it really doesn't look like it is.
The Home Depot has ceiling fans in every style under the sun, from the best brands, like Hampton Bay and Hunter, all at the guaranteed low price. The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
During the game, complete strangers stand shoulder to shoulder, holding their fingers aloft in celebration of their team's greatness. But after the game, some of those same fans use a different finger to express their emotions. When you leave the game, try to exercise some patience. Good sportsmanship should extend to the road. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
Hey, Braves fans, to see how better drivers can get better rates, just call agent owner Bill House in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Subject to availability and qualifications. Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
One hit.
And high in the air, left center field and deep.
Can change the game.
A 2-run homer by Canton, and the Braves are right back in front 3-2.
Hear every hit, only on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Middle of the 6th inning, a good pitching duel, and this is our Delta double play inning. Our contestant in tonight's double play inning, Richard Walters from Hamilton, GA. If the Braves turn a double play, Richard will be the proud recipient of 22,000 Delta Sky Miles. To enter, mail your postcard with your name, address, and phone to Delta double play inning, 1819 Peachtree Street, Suite 700, Atlanta, 30309. It'll be Zambrano, the pitcher, to lead things off, and Hudson shoots the first one over, but low, ball 1. Former Cubs and other Major League teams pitcher Tim Stoddard's stopping by in the booth next door. He threw out the first pitch tonight prior to this game. I think he's the Take Me Out to the Ball Game singer tonight. Ball 2 is low. And an interesting group of folks being introduced prior to the ball game. The offensive lineman for the 1985 Bears. The Bears. That's yanked toward first, a fair ball grabbed by LaRoche. And the first pitch to him is over at the knees. Hudson with a good sinking fastball tonight. Hudson has already made a ton of good pitches in on the hands of these Cubs hitters.
He's only thrown 73 pitches so far, too.
And his 0-1 offering. That's over but low. Took a little bit off the sinker.
And we don't need to tell you what a premium Bobby Cox and Leo Mazzoni are putting on starting pitchers going deep into games these days.
Oh, yeah. There's some tired folks sitting down the right field line in the bullpen. Here's the 1-1.
chopped out in front of the plate. Hudson over to grab it. Takes 2 steps, goes to first. And out number 2 is an easy one. We will not have a winner at our Delta double play inning. Richard Walters from Hamilton. Sorry about that. We'll re-rack it tomorrow and try again. Tack on some more Delta Sky Miles. And don't forget, mail your postcard with your name, address, and phone number. The Delta double play inning, 1819 Peachtree Street, Suite 700, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. Here's Walker. He's 1 for 2. It was a double. His double kind of got the Cubs faithful excited. Here's the pitch to it. Yanked foul into the newly added seats just beyond the Braves dugout, 0-1. And the reason it got him a little bit excited, Lawton was flying around the bases, but Chris Spire, third base coach, threw up a stop sign as he was about 5-10 feet down the line. And the Cubs faithful thought he maybe should have let him go, but from our vantage point, it looked like he would have been out by about 10 feet. There's the 0-1. That's hit in the air left side, going to drift into the stand. So Hudson throwing a ton of strikes, quickly on top, nothing in 2. Atlanta Braves baseball brought to you again tonight by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on your car insurance. Just visit geico.com, or you can dial up 1-800-947-AUTO. Nothing in 2 to Walker, and he hits it high in the air. Out back of first base. Giles there near the bullpen. The wind pushes it into foul territory, and Marcus tracks it down. Hudson with another 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. We are through 6. It's 2-1 Braves.
Have you been turned down for a checking account? Have banks and credit unions made you feel like a second-class citizen with no right to have a checking account?
At Florida Citizens Bank, we've heard all the reasons why you can't have a checking account. We listened. This is Carl Walsh, president of Florida Citizens Bank, and we now have a checking account just for you.
It's called New Chance Checking. Stop by any Florida Citizens Bank branch and ask for New Chance Checking. It's simple. It's easy. Only at Florida Citizens Bank. Gainesville, Ocala, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I only want 2 things, the latest and the greatest. That's why I choose Cox Communications. Cox Digital Cable has over 260 channels, and I get local and high-def channels at no extra charge. And when you add Cox High-Speed Internet, which is way faster than DSL, you'll get great savings. Like I said, the latest and the greatest.
Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age. Call 1-888-269-9693 or online at cox.com. Some restrictions apply.
When you host a high school exchange student, you open a door to the world for your family. Academic Year in the USA, AUSA, invites you to bring the world closer by building international friendships that will last a lifetime. To host a student or to study abroad, call us at 1-888-55-AYUSA.
One voice can get the point across. 2 are stronger. Add more and we're stronger than ever. That's the power of a community coalition. They help community groups fight to keep kids away from drugs. Visit helpyourcommunity.org to see how your group can help, because you get more when you get together. Brought to you by the Office of National Drug Control Policy and the Ad Council.
Join me, Jim Bohannon, weeknights at 10 for the Jim Bohannon Show on AM 850 WRUF, your hometown station.
WRUF, Gainesville. And Zambrano locked in a good one here tonight. All zeros except the 4th inning when the Braves put a 2 spot on the board in the top on Chipper Jones's homer. And then the Cubs in the bottom added 1 more. 2-1 the score. And for the Braves, it'll be the middle of the batting order. Andrew Jones, followed by Adam LaRoche, and then Jeff Francoeur.
Only been 5 hits in this game. 3 by Atlanta, 2 by the Cubs.
Andrew has one of the 3 for the Braves. He got a single right after Chipper's homer, and the first pitch to him is popped up. First base side, the wind's going to push that over near the Braves dugout. Barrett is there, and so is Derek Lee, but it's Michael Barrett, who hanging right over Braves dugout with big Derek Lee draped over his shoulder, hauls in out number 1. Usually the rebound goes to the taller guy.
Yes, it does. That's it's a little bit surprising that Barrett was able to hang on to that with Lee all over him.
That was a 2-shot violation in the NBA. And here's Adam LaRoche without a hit in 2 tries. Adam has skied to center and struck out. A curveball drops in for strike 1.
Boy, both these pitchers tonight have been terrific throwing first pitch strikes.
And changing speeds and not throwing the same pitch for a strike on the first pitch. 258 the batting average for Adam, and the next one to him, a fastball hit out of play left side. Do you want guaranteed postseason Braves tickets and a baseball signed by one of the Braves' young guns? Order the Braves Future Stars plan. And for only $99, you'll get 9 Braves home games and an autographed baseball. AtlantaBraves.com. Give you the number after the pitch. Change up, line, left field, headed, foul, and into the seats. The phone number, if you want to call, is 404-577-9100. I like what Adam LaRoche did there. As soon as that ball was hit, you were pretty sure it was going to get into the seats, but he didn't take any chances. There's some strange things can happen down in the corners, and Adam was already down the first, just now making his way back to the plate with an 0-ball, 2-strike count. And Zambrano's 0-2, swung on and missed. So the right-hander rings up his 8th strikeout. And he's on a roll since the single by Andrew has set out 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in a row. And will face Jeff Francoeur, and tonight he is handled. The 21-year-old right fielder, he struck him out once, swinging in the second inning, and then got him again on strikes in the 4th. The first pitch to him, fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1, and the 0-1. Fastball in around the knuckles. Jeff is seeing a few more of those lately.
Yeah, he is. Another something new on the building across the street in left field. They've got a strikeout counter there, but the building is very narrow. The pitch to Francoeur, swung on and missed. Only has room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ks left to right across the front of the building. So when they get to 8, they start turning the Ks around the other way. And the 1-2 pitch to Francoeur, swung on and missed. There's number 9. They'll have to flip it. And 11 in a row set down by Zambrano. We're in the middle of the 7th inning. Braves on top 2-1, 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Marathon. Back to Wrigley right after this.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Mother's Day, Father's Day, Graduation Day, and birthdays. Give the Marathon gift card. A great gift for any occasion. Now save $2 on each $50 Marathon gift card.
Please listen closely to the following. If you correctly identified that noise as the sound of a 2-seam fastball traveling 93 miles per hour, making contact with a 34-ounce bat swung by a left-handed batter wearing a size 13 shoe playing in a packed stadium on a partly sunny day, then you, my friend, are a baseball fan. And as a baseball fan, Delta would like you to know that when traveling to see your team, our lowest fares are available at Delta.com. Log on, check in, and print your boarding pass. Delta. Good goes around. Delta is proud to be the official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Announcing high-speed internet for just $24.95 a month every month with Bell South Fast Access DSL.
Every month? What do you mean by that?
Every month.
What about on my birthday?
$24.95.
What about on Saturday at 5 p.m.?
$24.95.
What about during a solar eclipse?
Still $24.95 a month. So unlike those introductory deals, Fast Access DSL is only $24.95 a month every month. No gimmicks, no limited time pricing, guaranteed.
You can talk and surf at the same time.
Correct.
You can download music super fast and send photos easily?
You bet.
Oh, for how much?
$24.95 a month.
What about during alien landings?
No. Just kidding.
No!
Visit fastaccess.com and get Fast Access DSL for one low price every month. Plus, order now and you can get a free MP3 player and 3 months of Napster music. Bell South. Listening? Answering. Price for Fast Access DSL Lite. Rates automatically applied to new residential customers only. Taxes, fees, and other charges apply. Subject to geographic and other restrictions. See website for details.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF, Gainesville.
Here's the Cubs MVP candidate, Derek Lee. Lee coming up for his second time officially, a strikeout and a walk. The right-handed hitter, wide open stance. Hudson's first one is outside for ball 1. Only one inning has been a pain for Tim Hudson. That would have been in the 4th inning. A hit batsman, a double. Then he walked Lee. Got a double play off the bat of Ramirez and a strikeout of Burnett's. Swinging a foul back to the screen, 1-1. So the Cubs tonight are 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Cubs have only stranded one base runner. Contrast that to the road trip they just came off of in Colorado. They were 1-2 against the Rockies and 8 for 39 with runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch to Lee. Squirted off the end of the bat. Look out in the Brave dugout. Hope nobody was sleeping over there. That got in there in a hurry. It's all right. It was headed for a catcher. He's got the gear on. Brian McCann coming up with that. 1-2 to Lee. Cubs left 31 men on base in the 3 games in Denver. Pitch to Lee, fisted toward short, but that hit him on the foot, so Chipper will fetch it. Hudson gets a new baseball, and it remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Braves trying to beat the Cubs for the 5th straight time this year. That was a rare 4-game sweep. You don't see many 4-game series anymore at all, and you don't see many 4-game sweeps when you do get a 4-game series.
That was in July down in Atlanta. Game 2 of this series coming up tomorrow night. John Thompson and Jerome Williams. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Thompson trying to better his 3-3 record, and John wanting to improve on his last outing. Williams 3-6, a high earned run average for the right-hander, a 5.13 ERA. First pitch in the neighborhood of 8:05 Eastern Daylight Time. Hope you'll make your plans to join us. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Lee. Hit to left field and hard. Back goes Kelly. This one is in the seat. If you were listening earlier, we were telling you about the wind blowing in. It is still blowing in, and Pete said the only thing that it will not affect is a low line drive. That never got over 15 feet high and into the first row, 365 feet. For Lee, his 37th homer, his 91st RBI. We're tied. It's 2-2.
Well, barely cleared the basket out there. Just barely got in, but it did.
Still nobody out. And here's Ramirez without a hit in 2 tries. He rolled into a double play. That's the big out recorded, or big pair of outs recorded by Hudson. First pitch strike to the third baseman. There was an interesting reaction on that line drive. Kelly Johnson headed back, stopped, and turned to play the ball off the wall.
Yep.
Here's the pitch. That's foul back our way, and it's 0-2. And when it just sneaked over the basket in the seats, he just slammed his throwing hand into his glove. I think he thought the wind was going to knock that down, and he was getting himself in a perfect position to play the carom.
He might have had a play at second base.
The 0-2 pitch to Ramirez popped up. Middle of the diamond, Hudson pointing it out to Johnny Estrada. The wind now pushing it back toward the home plate area in foul territory. Estrada records out number 1. 1 out for Jeremy Burnett. Burnett has grounded to second with Hudson on the cover and then struck out his last at-bat, and an at-bat that was somewhat frustrating for Burnett. A call strike on the inside corner, a call strike out away from him, and then completely tied up and befuddled on a cut fastball from Hudson on his hands. 263, 18 homers, big, strong left-handed hitter. And the first pitch to him, hit toward the right side. Giles playing him to pull, makes it look easy. Marcus, a couple of steps on the outfield grass. Tosses over to first, and here's out number 2. Here's Michael Barrett.
Derek Lee, very much a Triple Crown candidate. He's leading the league in hitting, had a 13-point edge over Albert Pujols coming into tonight. He's now 2 homers behind Andrew Jones. And that was his 91st RBI. He's only 5 RBIs behind the league leader, Albert Pujols, so he's close.
And here's Barrett. Barrett 1 for 2. It was a single, and strike 1 to start in. Well, Cubs are kind of rolling the dice on this, and I'll tell you why. If you look at their record, 60 wins, 64 losses. Line drive, left field, base hit. A sinker that stayed up from Hudson. Barrett has his second hit. And for the Cubs, they have their 4th hit. But getting back to that pitching, when the Cubs win, they get this kind of pitching. In their 60 wins, starters have gotten 42 of them with an ERA of 2.40. Of their 64 losses, starters have gotten 41 of them and an ERA of 6.5. So the Cubs go as their starters go. Barrett at first. Here's Napi Perez. Perez 0 for 2. Toss over to first with Barrett back. Barrett only 2 stolen base attempts. He's been caught both times. Perez retired on a terrific play back in the 5th inning after a single by Barrett. He chopped it up the middle for a call with some fancy footwork around the bag, able to make a 6-3 double play. And the pitch to Perez. Bounces up there. Estrada can't find it. It bounces off of his chest protector. And before Johnny can track it down, Michael Barrett ends up at second. That in all likelihood will be a wild pitch charge to Tim Hudson. So the Cubs with the go-ahead run. Possible go-ahead run standing out to second for Tim Hudson, his 3rd wild pitch. That ball took a funny bounce. It bounced up under the chin and the mask of Johnny Estrada, then trickled right at his feet, and when he spun around, it kind of caught him and kicked it away.
Kerry Wood has gotten up in the Cubs bullpen.
He has become their setup man here. Hudson's 1-0 pitch to Perez. Outside, Johnny Estrada was crossed up.
That's been the one area that the Cubs have really struggled in this year, like so many teams. Their bullpen record, about the same as a lot of other teams in both the National and American leagues. They're 18 and 23. They have 25 saves, but they've blown 15 saves, and their bullpen earned run average 4.54. You can almost quote those exact same numbers for almost every bullpen in the National League, with the exception of Washington and St. Louis. Those 2 bullpens have been pretty dependable.
2-0 to Perez. Andrews shallow in left, Rancourt deep in right. Kelly Johnson coming up a little bit in left. Andrew in center. It's lined to left field. Here comes Kelly Johnson. They're going to wave Barrett to the plate. The throw on the way. Estrada blocks it, and Barrett is out. Another outfield assist by these youngsters. A terrific grab and throw by Kelly Johnson, and the Cubs are retired in the bottom of the 7th. A run on 3 hits and 1 left. And at the end of 7, we're tied. It's 2-2.
You've just finished an evening of shopping and can't find your car. You wonder, has it been stolen? State Farm agent Perry McGriff hopes this never happens to you. And that's why he offers a free brochure filled with tips on preventing car theft and carjacking. After all, helping keep you safe is what being a good neighbor is all about. So pick up your free brochure today. Visit State Farm agent Perry McGriff at 1120 Northwest 13th Street in Gainesville.
Identity theft is the fastest growing crime in the United States. Visit www.sunstatefcu.org for security information that will help you safeguard your identity.
Sun State Federal Credit Union is already a trusted financial partner in this community, so you don't have to give your social security number to just anybody who asks for it. Don't trade your trust or your identity for a minor convenience.
Sun State Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration.
We are people of all ages with hopes and dreams. We are the family and friends of alcoholics, and our lives are controlled by someone else's drinking. We want our lives back. If you need help, call Al-Anon and Alateen at 1-888-4-ALANON. To help them, you have to help yourself first.
What do facial redness, bumps or pimples, and eye irritation have in common? Each can be a sign of rosacea, a potentially serious disorder that affects 14 million Americans. If you have signs of rosacea, see a dermatologist or call the National Rosacea Society toll-free at 1-888-NO-BLUSH.
I'm Dr. Joy Brown. Be sure to buy, sell, and trade all of your stuff on Tradio Saturday mornings at 7 on AM 850 WRUF.
Cleveland has just gotten 7 on our racetrack scoreboard. Atlanta baseball fueled by racetrack, and they lead Tampa Bay now 11-4 heading to the top of the 8th inning. We're heading to the top of the 8th inning. It's a 2-2 ball game, and once again, here's Pete.
Hey, Don, thank you. It's Kelly Johnson. Just made that good throw leading off here in the 8th. He's 0 for 2. He's flied to left and struck out. Zambrano winds and delivers, and Kelly Johnson takes high and away, ball one. You've also got the Yankees putting a 4 spot up in the 7th inning to take a 6-0 lead over Toronto going to the 8th. In the only other American League game going on, pitches fouled back by Kelly Johnson, 1 ball, 1 strike. And with those being the only 2 games in the American League, if the Yankees hold on and win, and if Cleveland holds on and win, you'll have a 3-way tie at the top of the American League wild card race between Oakland, the Yankees, and the Indians. Pitch to Kelly Johnson, low and outside, ball 2, 2-1. That'll keep things interesting over in that league.
Oh, yeah.
Next pitch on the way to Kelly Johnson, low and inside, ball 3, 3-1 the count on Kelly Johnson. Johnny Estrada due up next, then the pitcher's spot.
There's already that great wild card battle in the National League.
Pitch to Kelly, hit high in the air, center field. That won't go anywhere in this wind. Corey Patterson camps under it and makes the catch. 1 gone. And now Johnny Estrada. And let's see if Tim Hudson comes out on deck or whether a pinch hitter does. Hudson was going right alongside Bobby Cox. He had the gloves on. He was looking for a helmet. But I don't see him advancing now. Looks like Julio Franco might get the call to pinch hit.
It looks like Kyle Farnsworth is going to get the call to warm up.
He's beginning to throw down on the Braves bullpen. Here's Estrada, 0 for 2. First pitch to him, little dribbler toward short. Perez fields on to first in time. 2 outs. And now Hudson is going to come out and bat for himself.
It's got to feel funny for Farnsworth, doesn't it? He's got to feel like he's warming up in a mirror after all the years he spent warming up in the identical spot down the left field line.
Yeah. So the case was if somebody got on base, they were going to pinch hit for Hudson, but nobody did, so Hudson's going to come out hit for himself. He's only thrown 93 pitches through 7 innings, so he's got a little bit left. Bobby Cox is hoping. And the pitch to Hudson, swinging a foul off the plate, 0-1. We're in the 8th inning, tied 2-2. 2 runs on 3 hits for Atlanta, 2 runs on 5 hits for the Cubs. Zambrano and Hudson in a classic duel here at Wrigley Field with the wind blowing in. The 0-1 pitch to Hudson, breaking ball, missed inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
We talked about this scoreboard before, an old-fashioned scoreboard. I wonder if you ever get caught, and I've been caught a few times.
Pitch is fouled back, 1-2.
The way it's set up, you read right down. When you get to the bottom one on the left side of the National League, do you ever give that score?
Used to get caught with that all the time. Remind myself now every time I come here, that's the score of this game. Mets in Arizona have gotten underway. The Mets got 2 at the top of the first. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Hudson. A little bit high, ball 2. Now the wide and the 2-2 on the way, and it's popped up foul, right side. Still throwing fastball at about a 95-mile-an-hour clip is Mr. Zambrano. And he's closing in at 120 pitches, 116 by my count. Here's the 2-2 on the way to Hudson. Low and outside, ball 3, 3-2. No activity right now in the Cubs bullpen. No activity right now in the Braves bullpen. That's a very unusual scene for the 8th inning of any game. Strike 3 called outside corner. Hudson, strikeout victim number 10 for Carlos Zambrano, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the 8th for Atlanta. Nothing doing for the Braves. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Atlanta 2, Chicago 2.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO.
Want to travel with the Braves on a weekend road trip? Go to participating racetrack stores to enter to win. Atlanta Braves Baseball, fueled by Racetrack.
This game is brought to you by Bell South. For all the communications you need, local and long distance, wireless, high-speed internet, and direct TV service, Bell South. Listening, answering.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
Listen up, Braves fans. The Braves are proud to bring you a fantastic ticket deal. Coca-Cola 2-for-1 Tuesdays. Every Tuesday home game, fans can buy one $8 upper-level reserve ticket and receive a second upper-level reserve ticket absolutely free. That's 2 great seats for only $4 each. The Coca-Cola 2-for-1 Tuesday ticket offer is available online at AtlantaBraves.com or by calling 1-800-326-4000. That's 1-800-326-4000.
This Braves game brought to you in part by Georgia Power, official power source of the Atlanta Braves.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. A high fly ball belted left field deep. Hit the wall and it's gone.
Braves baseball. Don't miss a pitch tomorrow night as the Braves take on the Chicago Cubs.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves baseball on AM 850 WRUF, Gainesville.
Heading now to the bottom half of the 8th inning, the 8, 9, and 1 spots due up for the Cubs against Tim Hudson. No activity in the Atlanta bullpen. It looks like Kerry Wood up again in the Cubs bullpen. Jose Macias has come out on deck to pinch hit for Zambrano. And Corey Patterson will lead things off here. Patterson has been up twice, and both times has grounded out to Adam LaRoche at first. 2-2, 3 hits for Atlanta, 5 hits for the Cubs. And Patterson to begin the bottom half of the 8th inning. Tim Hudson's first pitch to Corey Patterson. He tried to bunt his way on. That one got a piece of Johnny Estrada. Nothing in 1 to count on Corey Patterson. Johnny back beyond the plate for the first time in over 2 weeks. Now the look in by Hudson. And the 1-strike pitch to Patterson on the way. High and tight. Boy, he almost leaned right into that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, it seems strange to see Kerry Wood throwing in the bullpen. It does, doesn't it? This late in the game. There's a high fly ball by Patterson and out to right field. Too high in the air to travel very far, though. Francoeur's under it. He's got it 1 away. And now we'll get the pinch hitter, Jose Macias, on to bat for Zambrano.
Depending on who you talk to, there are a number of baseball people who feel like that might have been a right role from him from the beginning.
Macias, 289, no homers, 10 RBIs. He's 9 out of 42 as a pinch hitter. He's been the most frequently used pinch hitter by Dusty Baker. And Hudson's first pitch to him, a swing and a miss, 0-1. He's a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Hudson. One out here in the bottom of the 8th and a tie game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball down and away, 0-2. Here's the wind by Tim Hudson. The 0-2 pitch to Macias on the way. Bouncing ball, the first foul. LaRoche fields it and gets it back to Tim Hudson.
The pitch was in on him, Pete, and the first 2 out away from him. He looks like he is just, for some reason, tied up and can't take a good swing on the pitches out away from him.
I can tell you one reason why. It looks like he's wearing about 3 sweatshirts. Check him out. Not that cold. Next pitch, ground ball hit out to second, fielded by Giles, on to first in time. Macias retired. I mean, it's a little bit cool tonight, but he's dressed like it's a 45-degree evening. Let's pause for station identification on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville. Brought to you by the WRUF Sports Club members, Florida Pest Control, Bossart Realty Services, and Florida Citizens Bank.
2 outs. Here's Matt Lawton taking the first pitch outside ball 1. Lawton tonight is grounded out to second, was hit by a pitch. and bounced out to the pitcher. After being hit by a pitch in the fourth inning, he eventually came around to score the first Cubs run. The next pitch line into center field. That's a base hit. Lawton, who the Cubs got from the Pirates right at the trade deadline, is on with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Todd Walker. Walker 1 for 3. He had a double in the fourth inning.
Keep an eye on Lawton, too. He's a pretty darn good base stealer.
Since coming over to the Cubs in 15 games, Lawton does not have a stolen base, but he has 16 on the season. And this is the kind of spot that you might see him go. Throw to first. Oh, almost threw it by LaRoche. He had to dig that one out of the dirt. If he misses that one, Lawton's at least at second, possibly as far as third.
We were talking about Macias. He had a turtleneck, looked like a couple of sweatshirts on. The look reminded me of a former outfielder that plied his trade on the south side, Walt No-Neck Williams.
Yeah. 2 men out. Lawton at first. That base hit by him. Hit number 6 off Hudson. Here's the look in by Tim. Stretching the pitch on the way to Walker. Fly ball left field. Kelly Johnson back 2 steps. Now comes in 3 and makes a basket catch out there. The wind knocked that one down. Out number 3 in the inning. Hudson gets through it without giving up a run. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left. We're going to the 9th inning. Tied 2-2.
At Bossart Realty, we build peace of mind into every home we sell by offering a complete menu of real estate services. Our expert sales staff work hard on your behalf to negotiate the best price and terms. Our in-house mortgage department offers a variety of loan programs with very competitive rates. Peace of mind means our closing department will ensure all the paperwork is in order. Our rental division offers a full complement of property management services. Stop by one of our offices today and enjoy peace of mind with Bossart Realty Services.
Some new banks promise you the world, but are they going to be here when you need them? At M&S Bank, we won't woo you over just to sell you out. For over 46 years, we've been providing dependable service for your personal and business banking. With 10 M&S Bank branch offices serving Gainesville, Ocala, and surrounding cities, our community roots truly run deep. Other banks come and go. M&S Bank stays and grows. Money and service since 1959.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Every Tuesday evening between 7 and 8 p.m. is the Alachua County Humane Society's Benefit Night at the University Avenue Ben & Jerry's. Please join Ben & Jerry's University store in supporting the Humane Society every Tuesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. And remember, members of the Humane Society qualify for special discounts.
Treat me with understanding. Drug and alcohol addiction is an equal opportunity disease.
Treat me without judgment.
Individuals in recovery deserve to be treated with respect for winning one of the hardest battles there is.
Treat me with compassion.
For drug and alcohol information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Join me, Jim Bohannon, weeknights at 10 for the Jim Bohannon Show on AM 850 WRUF, your hometown station.
Going to the 9th inning, and Kerry Wood has come on to pitch for the Cubs. Zambrano, another very good outing tonight. 8 innings, only 3 hits allowed, 2 runs. He didn't walk anybody, struck out 10. And now Kerry Wood making his 19th appearance, his 9th in relief. He's 3-3 with a 4.14 earned run average. 63 innings, 50 hits, 13 homers allowed this year, 26 walks, 74 strikeouts, a 2.16 batting average against. His first 7 relief appearances, he worked a scoreless inning. His last one against Colorado, he gave up a run. And his first pitch to Rafael Furcal is taken high, ball 1. Top of the 9th, tied 2-2. Wood, who's had shoulder problems plague him the last couple of years, delivers the next pitch to Furcal. It's fouled back. Been on the disabled list twice for the Cubs this year with those shoulder problems, and they really have never been able to quite determine what the problem is. All they know is that when he starts a ball game, the deeper into the game he gets, the tighter the shoulder gets. Thus the move to the bullpen. The next pitch, Furcal trying to bunt it. Did he go? No, says third base up Mark Carlson. And the count 2-1. Braves might have gotten a break there. Looking at the replay, I believe the Braves did get a break there. 2-1 for Furcal. He's 1 for 3. Had a double in the 4th inning. Next pitch to him is Low and inside, ball 3, 3-1. Here's the next pitch to Percal. It's popped up foul out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Wood always in the top 5 or so in strikeouts per 9 innings. That's certainly the case this year, too, averaging better than 10.5 strikeouts per 9 innings.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Percal. Here's the payoff pitch to Raphael. He fouls it off at the plate, still 3-2.
It's been counts like this in the games that we watched him that has given him trouble, because there's always been the tendency for him to go to his second or third pitch and try to get a strikeout rather than trying to make a hitter put the ball in play.
Here's the 3-2 to Percal. Foul away again, still 3-2. 98-mile-an-hour fastball there.
He hasn't gone to his second or third on the last 2 to Percal.
Marcus Giles will follow, then Chipper Jones. We're tied 2-2, 9th inning in the first of this 3-game set at Wrigley. Here's the stretch by Kerry Wood, and the pitch foul back again. Good at bat so far by Percal. Crowd tonight of 38,767. 38,767. Here's the stretch, and again the 3-2 pitch. Little tap towards second, charging in Walker. He's got it on the first in time. Percal retired. 1 out. That'll bring up Marcus Giles.
He did go to the slider there after Percal fouled away 3 of those 98-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Giles tonight 0 for 2, a sacrifice bunt included. Kerry Wood delivers, and Giles takes the breaking ball, low and away, ball 1. 2-2, top of the 9th, 1 out. And the base is empty. Kerry Wood on in relief of Zambrano delivers, and Giles lines one into right center field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Over quickly, Corey Patterson gets it back to the infield, and there's a start maybe. As Giles singles with 1 out here in the 9th, bringing up Chipper Jones. Big hit in the game in the 4th inning for Chipper, a 2-run homer. His 12th homer of the year. He's also grounded out to second twice.
Marcus is one of the guys on the Braves who's never had any trouble with Kerry Woods. That base hit gives him 6 for 12.
Kyle Farnsworth up in the Braves bullpen. And Chipper Jones awaits the first pitch. A swing and a miss. Breaking ball from Kerry Wood to count 0-1. Over at first, Giles. Lee holding him. Stretched by the right-hander. And the 0-1 pitch to Chipper is a strike at the knees in the outside corner. 98 miles an hour on that fastball. 0-2 on Chipper Jones. Andrew Jones on deck. Now Kerry Wood steps off. Final now, the Yankees beat Toronto 7-0. And Cleveland beat Tampa 8-4. So it's a 3-way tie for the lead now in the American League wild card race. The Indians, the Yankees, and the Oakland A's. And that scoreboard brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Pitch to Chipper, missed low, and the count 1-2. Now the stretch on the 1-2 pitch, high with a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Over in the National League, we have 2 finals. Florida 5-2 over the Dodgers. St. Louis 3-1 over the Pirates. The Mets at Arizona 2-0 Mets. They go to the bottom of the 2nd. Next pitch to Chipper Jones. Fly ball, right center field, deep. Corey Patterson going back. This ball is gone. Chipper Jones with his second 2-run homer of the night has given the Braves a 4-2 lead. Big night for Chipper Jones. A 2-run homer off Zambrano in the 4th. And a 2-run belt off of Kerry Wood here in the 9th. 4-2 Atlanta. First time this year Chipper's had a multi-home run game. 31st time in his career.
And his second one in 22 at-bats against Kerry Wood, but only his 5th hit in his career against him. And it was Kerry Wood's slider that Chipper got.
So Chipper Jones providing the big bat for the Braves tonight. It's 4-2 Atlanta. Andrew Jones, the batter. Andrew tonight is 1 for 3. 13 homers now and 48 RBIs for Chipper Jones. First pitch to Andrew Jones is swing and a miss. And a high fastball. That might have hit 100, that one. A little anger behind that one, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way, swing and a miss at the slider, 0-2. We told you when Wood came into the game that he'd given up a lot of home runs, and he has. That's 14 home runs in 64 innings now. The next pitch to Andrew Jones, hit foul on a play to the left.
And I'll bet you 2/3 of them have come on his second or third pitch. That happens to him a lot.
That's about 1 home run every 4 innings he works. Here's the 0-2 to Andrew. Ground ball sharply hit third. One big hop to Ramirez. He throws on to first in time. 2 outs. But a 2-run blast here in the 9th inning by Chipper Jones, his second homer of the night. And the Braves are on the verge now, if they can close out the Cubs in the bottom of the 9th, of taking the first game of this series and providing more bullpen woes for Dusty Baker. Does it seem like every year when you get to August or September, the pitch to LaRoche is swung on a miss for a strike? Whatever team Dusty Baker is managing is having bullpen problems. Yep. Here's the 0-1 on the way. Fastball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men out. 2 runs in. 9th inning. 4-2 Braves. Here's the 1-1 up high. 2-1. It looks like Kyle Farnsworth is going to get the opportunity to pick up the save in this game. He closed out last night's victory over San Diego. It was not a save situation.
He's taking a seat, Pete. I wonder if Bobby is contemplating sending Hudson back out there.
Well, he could. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Fouled back by LaRoche. 3-2. Sometimes a pitcher will come and plead his case to a manager if he wants to finish the game himself. And maybe with the cooler weather, Tim Hudson, who's pitched in a lot of weather like this, while a member of the Oakland A's wants to go out there and get the job done himself. There's a ground ball fouled on the right side. Stays 3-2. Hudson's still in the Braves dugout. He has the jacket on. Here's the stretch in the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by LaRoche. Strike 3. Adams' problems continue. He's 0 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts. Now 0 for his last 13. The only strikeout of the inning by Kerry Wood, but a 2-run homer by Chipper Jones, his second 2-run homer of the night. And it will be Tim Hudson going out to try to complete the deal as we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning with our score, Braves 4 and the Cubs 2.
Hey, check it out. This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Derek Lee leads off the bottom of the 9th against Tim Hudson. He has struck out, walked, and homered. First pitch up high, ball 1. Hudson trying for his first complete game of the year. And the 17th of his career, Kyle Farnsworth keeping ready in the bullpen just in case. 4-2 Atlanta, bottom of the 9th, pitch to Lee. There's a strike outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. College students, the Braves have a buy one, get one free college ticket discount for every remaining regular season home game. Tell you college kids how to take advantage of the offer. Just go to the Turner Field ticket windows, present your college ID, and get a buy one, get one free upper box ticket. We'll see you at the ballpark. Braves home again next Monday. Called strike 2 on the outside corner to Derek Lee. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lee hitting his 37th homer of the year to lead off the 7th inning. Now the 1-2 on the way. Ground ball left side. That gets through. Base hit left field. Hit number 7 for the Cubs. And that'll bring up another dangerous hitter, Aramis Ramirez, who's 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout, a 6-4-3 double play that he hit into. And a pop foul to the catcher. Chipper Jones over to have a quick word with Tim Hudson. This is probably the guy he has to get to stay in the game. One more base hit. And you're probably going to see the bullpen brought in. Nobody out. Lee at first. Stretch by Hudson. Pitch to Ramirez. Fastball. Strike one. Belt high outside corner. Jeremy Burnett's on deck. Nobody out here in the ninth. Here's the pitch, fastball right up around the letters. And it's 1-1. Now the stretch by Hudson. And the 1-1 pitch to Ramirez. Bouncing ball up the middle. Giles has it at the bag at second. There's one on to first. Not in time. They are saying that LaRoche came off the bag to take the one-hop throw from Marcus Giles. And Ramirez is safe at first. Might have been a double play. Marcus caught the ball going to his right behind the bag at second. Came and stepped on second. Then his throw to first. A short hop that LaRoche had to come toward the mound to get. And as he did, he came off the bag, and they call Ramirez safe. They get the out at second. That's one out. Ramirez at first now. And here's Jeremy Burnett, who has grounded out to second twice and struck out. 0 for 3. Stretch by Hudson. Pitch to Burnett's. Fastball low, ball one. You can tell Hudson smells the victory here. He wants it.
Well, he's held his stuff well all night long. He's had good movement. He's maintained his velocity well. Good control.
Here's the stretch. And here's the 1-0 pitch to Burnett. Strike called inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. We also want to tell you about the Braves' next 2 for 1 Tuesday. Next Tuesday, August 30th, Braves and the Washington Nationals. You buy one upper reserve ticket, you get one free. 2 seats for only $8. AtlantaBraves.com or 1-800-326-4000 will give you more information. The next pitch is low and inside to Burnett's. 2-1.
They're not holding Ramirez. That's a distinct advantage for Hudson and for Adam LaRoche. Gives him more range. He can back up. And for the most part, Burnett pulls more than he goes the other way. So a little bit better defensive setup for the Braves.
1 man out. Stretching the pitch coming. Foul back. 2-2. 7 hits in the game for the Cubs off Hudson. He's kept them well scattered. The only time the Cubs were able to put some hits together was in that 7th inning. They had 3 hits in that inning, but just the 1 run, thanks to a throw by Kelly Johnson nabbing a runner at the plate. 2-2 to count of Burnett's. Over at first, Ramirez getting his lead, stretched by Hudson. And the pitch on the way to Burnett's. Pop foul out of play, left side, still 2-2. Tell you one thing about these Wrigley Field crowds, with the exception of the real cold days early in the year, nobody leaves a game. It can be 15-0 in the 9th inning.
Well, they all live within 5 blocks of here.
A lot of them do. A lot of them do. If you're a baseball fan and you're a Cubs fan, you move to Wrigleyville. Find a place to live here, this part of town. There's plenty of places to choose from. Stretching the 2-2 pitch. Look out. Almost hit him with a high, tight fastball. The count full now, 3-2. Michael Barrett on deck.
That's one of those pitches where Hudson's thinking, I'm either going to get him out or I'm going to set up the next pitch.
We'll see if they send Ramirez 3-2 with 1 out, not being held. A stretch by Hudson. Runner not going. 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to first. LaRoche to second. In time there for call. Back to first. Not in time. So once again, the Braves close, but not quite in getting that double play. 2 outs now. Good play by LaRoche. He's a good defensive first baseman on that particular play. That's not a real easy play. That make the grab at first base and then get a good accurate throw down to second. He's able to do that consistently. It was a big high hopper, so it wasn't an automatic double play ball. It's a tough double play to turn anyway. 2 outs, runner first, 4-2 Atlanta. Here's Michael Barrett, the last hope for the Cubs. He has gone 2 for 3 with a pair of singles off Hudson tonight. Burnett's at first now with 2 outs. The stretch by Hudson. And the pitch to Barrett. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Pitch number 118 of the night for Tim Hudson coming up. He's 1 out away from his first complete game and his 10th victory of the season. Stretch and the 0-1 pitch to Barrett. Popped up foul right side. The wind will push that one into the seats. Down the right field line, 0-2. Well, now you've got a hitter where you want him. 0-2 with 2 outs. Farnsworth ready if needed in the Braves bullpen. He's just watching the action now from the bullpen mound. Burnett's off first. The look in by Hudson, the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If Barrett can keep it going, then Nathy Perez would step in. A lot of fans on their feet here at Wrigley Field. Here's the stretch by Hudson. And here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball out to second, right at Marcus Giles. He's got it on to first in time. And the Braves come to Wrigley Field and take the opening game in this series by a final score of 4-2. A pair of 2-run homers by Chipper Jones and Tim Hudson's first complete game of the season give the Braves the 4-2 victory. Back with the totals right after this.
At Central Florida Office Plus, we custom fit our chairs to you. With over 100 in stock, Central Florida Office Plus makes sure you get the proper support for your back, arms, and legs. Plus, all our chairs are 40 to 50% off list price. Isn't that comforting? Central Florida Office Plus, corner of 6th Street and University.
No 2 office chairs are alike. I'm W.T. Chestnut of Central Florida Office Plus. Our huge selection of office chairs guarantees a custom fit. Feel as relaxed leaving work as you did coming in. Central Florida Office Plus.
I'm D.R. Sapp, president of Florida Pest Control. The toughest opponent we face every day is termites. Thousands of them, ready to destroy your home. That's why we use Termador, the most effective, fast-acting termite protection on the market today. Guaranteed by our damage repair coverage. The best offense is a good defense. Call Florida Pest Control for a free inspection, estimate, and Termador. Florida Pest Control. The only bugs we can't control are litter bugs.
1,600,000. That's how many students may be staying home from school every day and not learning because of a problem we need to do more to solve. And those who are bullying aren't the only ones that should be scared. Take a stand. Lend a hand. Stop bullying now. For more information, go to www.stopbullyingnow.hrsa.gov. This message is a public service of WRUF.
The Alachua County Crisis Center is seeking volunteers to become crisis line counselors. 60 hours of training are provided. This is an opportunity to impact the community and to gain life-enhancing communication skills. The next training class begins Saturday, September 17th. Please contact Dana at 352-264-6779 or visit crisiscenter.alachua.fl.us for more information.
This is AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Well, the road trip off to a terrific start because of a great pitching performance by Tim Hudson. A route-going effort for Tim. He worked 9 innings, 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. He allowed the Cubs only 2 runs, and Game 1 belongs to the Braves by a score of 4-2. Our game recap delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you? Recapping the game, and here it is. The Braves 4 runs, 5 hits, airless ball with only 1 base runner stranded all night long. Cubs 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They stranded 4. Hudson got the win. He is now 10-7. The loss goes to Kerry Wood, 1 inning of relief. Braves got him for a single by Giles, a homer by Chipper Jones. Chipper with a pair of homers. He drove in all 4 tonight. And the Braves would stand for. Wood loses it. He is 3-4. 38,767 for game one of the series. And our Bulova time of the game, 2 hours and 19 minutes. Bulova watch is available at It's About Time. We'll be back and wrap it up right after this.
You're listening to Braves Baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
Today's game is brought to you in part by the Georgia Lottery Corporation, contributing over $7 billion to education in Georgia.
Alan McGee was always a little slow. He was slow to hear the news.
What happened to Montreal's baseball team?
He was slow to catch on.
They don't make basketball cleats?
He was slower than slow.
Touchdown, 5 points.
So when it came to his internet connection, naturally, Alan had slow dial-up.
This file's taking forever to download.
Then Alan found out about Bell South Fast Access DSL high-speed internet for just $24.95 a month every month. Now it's easy for him to connect and download fast.
Got it.
And because the price is now just $24.95 a month every month, fast is more affordable than ever. It's a new life for Alan McGee, and it shows.
How's Brooklyn doing this year?
Sometimes it shows. Visit fastaccess.com today and get Bell South Fast Access DSL for just $24.95 a month every month. No gimmicks, no limited time pricing, guaranteed. Plus, get a free modem when you order online. Only from Bell South. Listening, answering. Price for Fast Access DSL Lite. Rates automatically applied to new residential customers only. Taxes, fees, and other charges apply. Subject to geographic and other restrictions. See website for details. Free modem after rebate with 12-month commitment.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
Baseball is easy. All you have to do is hit a ball that's going 94 miles per hour. So you have to decide to swing in 0.2 seconds. Of course, the ball might just look like it's going 94. It could be a curve. It could make you look silly. Oh, and there are 2 strikes and 2 outs. Well, baseball can look easy when you know how.
The Home Depot is a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves and of knowing how. The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help. It's the game we played on rutted ball fields, in neighbors' backyards, and in the street with a broomstick. It's our game. A game passed from father to son. No matter how worn or weathered your old glove may be, you wouldn't dream of trading it in for a new one. The Atlanta Braves live in 05.
This is Atlanta Braves baseball.
You're listening to Atlanta Braves baseball on AM 850 WRUF Gainesville.
4-2 win for the Braves tonight and a good start to the road trip. And we invite you to come back with us tomorrow night. Game 2 of the series coming up, 8:05 Eastern Daylight Time, the first pitch. Pre-game activity starting around 7:05 Eastern Daylight Time. Mark Lemke, Stu Kleitenic will get things started for you. But tonight it was the Hudson Jones show. Chipper, a pair of homers, 4 RBIs. Tim Hudson, 9 innings in the books. And the Braves win it 4-2. Speaking of Mark and Stu, stick around. They'll be up right on the backside of this to keep you up to date or catch you up to date on all the things that are going on. And kind of take a look at tomorrow's activities. For Pete and Steve, I'm Don Sutton from Wrigley Field in Chicago, where the news is good. Braves win it 4-2. Good night, everybody.
If you've been injured or have an orthopedic problem, you want immediate access to quality care. The Orthopedic Institute is your answer. The Orthopedic Institute offers a unique combination of 20 board-certified experienced specialists in orthopedic injuries, sports medicine, knee, hip, and shoulder surgery, hand surgery, foot and ankle surgery, spine and neurosurgery, and plastic and reconstructive surgery. Make your appointment today in one of the Orthopedic Institute's offices in Gainesville, Lake City, Chiefland, Perry, or Alachua by calling 352-336-6000.
One of the biggest roadblocks to starting your own business is finding affordable office space in a prime location. Problem solved. Office warehouse condominiums in the all-new Quality Professional Center are exactly what you're looking for. Located in Northwest Gainesville, a 1,200 square foot unit is just $92,900 or lease for $795 a month. This offer won't last long. Make your move today. Call owner Brian Nasworth at 352-258-1220.
Hello, I'm Dixie Carter, and I want to tell you a story my father has told us many times over the years. In World War II, he and 5 other soldiers were camped out in France. Planes dropping bombs overhead, freezing cold.
Then out of the falling snow, a truck appeared. Two men jumped out with steaming hot coffee and hot donuts. It was the Salvation Army, bringing help and hope. That's what the Salvation Army does to this day. They quietly go about helping children and families, responding to national disasters, feeding the hungry, providing shelter for the homeless. You can help them continue to do their good work and guarantee yourself a lifetime income with a charitable gift annuity, fully guaranteed by the Salvation Army. You get a lifetime return for yourself and for the Salvation Army. So please consider a charitable gift annuity. Call today. Thank you.
Call 1-800-280-2771 for confidential information or visit armyannuity.com.
Gain 1,000 pounds and feel good about it. Adopt a manatee for someone you love and help ensure the survival of an endangered species. For more information, call Save the Manatee Club at 1-800-432-JOIN. That's 1-800-432-JOIN, or visit the website at www.savethemanatee.org.
Next pitch to Chipper Jones. Fly ball, right center field, deep. Corey Patterson going back. This ball is gone. Chipper Jones with his second two-run homer of the night has given the Braves a 4-2 lead. Big night for Chipper Jones. A two-run homer off Zambrano in the fourth, and a two-run belt off of Kerry Wood here in the ninth. 4-2 Atlanta.
The wind was blowing in, but the ball for Chipper Jones, as you just heard, was going out. What a big game for him. What a big game for Tim Hudson. The thoughts were that if this team ever gets healthy at the same time, they could be on a roll, and maybe they are. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the post-game report on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Stu Kleitenic and Mark Lemke, as always, summing things up and looking ahead. And Lemmer, couldn't ask for a better start to a road trip, could you?
Well, Stu, I think it started last night in Atlanta with John Smoltz. The streak stopper, the closer, gets the Braves going again, and I think they took this momentum into this game. This is another game that the Braves will build off of because it was a tough night to swing the bats. Got a couple of big hits, and that's all you needed.
You bring up an interesting point, and I totally agree with you, in that when we look at injuries, we look at obviously the John Thompson, Mike Hampton. Chipper has been banged up. Tim Hudson was out for a while. He might not have been completely healthy except for the last maybe, 2 weeks, and he's certainly been thrown that way.
That's the way I feel, Stu. I think he was hurting a little bit in spring training. I think when he came into the season, he was hurting a little bit, but I don't think he wanted to really take time off because I don't think he was hurting bad enough to keep him out of there. Then it got a little bit worse on him. Had to take some time off. Now I feel like Tim Hudson's 100% healthy. This is the Tim Hudson we saw in Oakland, and I think this is the Tim Hudson he expected to be when he came here to Atlanta.
9 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 5 strikeouts, and 1 home run given up. Zambrano was pretty impressive, too. 8 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and he struck out 10. But Chipper Jones, when he's got the bat going, we've seen it in the past, he can carry a team.
Yes, he can, Stu, and I think both pitchers helped tonight. Hudson going 9, Zambrano 8. Zambrano was throwing awful hard by the weather. It was a cooler night in Chicago, and Chipper Jones with 2 huge 2-run homers.
Maybe we got an indication of something, too, Lumber, by a guy that didn't get into the game because Kyle Farnsworth was warming up, ready to close, and you got to think that that's Bobby's closer for now, and what a game it would have been had he gone back to Chicago and closed the game. There's obviously 2 more games that he'll have a chance to do that in.
Well, I think from his last performance in Atlanta, he's the logical choice as your closer at this point. He's got that overpowering stuff. If he can put it together and stay consistent, he was doing it in Detroit, he would be the guy, Stu. I think what they want really with Chris Reisman is to get him back where he's most comfortable. That's in his setup role. And then when you go look at the closer position, you can go to about 3 or 4 guys. You could say Farnsworth, you could say Sosa could get a shot at it, you could say Boyer, and maybe even Joey Devine.
Well, our numbers, 404-367-WGST, 1-877-496-ROCK, to talk about this road trip that has gotten off to a good start. And is this the Tim Hudson you thought you always would have? Davies gets the win. Is that what you're telling me, Brent? Yes. All right, thank you. We're keeping you updated as we go along. The minor league scores come in hot off the press every night, so we want to keep you updated. And, of course, updated on what happened tonight. Lemmer, we were talking about Farnsworth again, and I was getting this handed. Make your point one more time because I missed it a little when the paper's getting handed to me.
I was just going over that he would be your logical choice for closer, and there are some other guys you would choose from, but I think Chris Rietsma will go back to his more comfortable position of the setup man. That would shore things up for the Braves in the bullpen. That's what they want to find out this month of August. That's why Devine is here and not a September call-up, because if it turns out that he's the guy, then you want him on that roster so you'll have him on at playoff time. I think Bobby Cox has confidence in the young guy, even though he gave up the big grand slam the other day against San Diego. Bobby Cox liked what he saw out of Devine.
Well, it's time to make a stand, too. Who you worry about most in the National League East, and we'll talk about this game this evening because Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, we talked about it, Lemmer. The young players have been sensational. They're the reason the Braves are in this position, but you've got to count on your veterans, as you well know, being part of this run. It's Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, Rafi Furcal, and, of course, Marcus Giles, who have to come through along with this mix of rookies if they want to go anywhere.
Well, Rafi and Marcus did it tonight up the middle. They played super defense, and Chipper Jones and Tim Hudson, the veterans, coming through, and I think John Smoltz started this whole thing. I think the guys realized the importance of getting a winning streak going, even though the homestand not horrible, 6-6, not the way they expected it.
Well, the Braves Farm Report brought to you by State Farm Insurance, and as you just heard, we get the scores because we know you want to know what's happening in the minor leagues. Richmond over Louisville, 4-0. The story here, as Brad, our producer, was pointing out to me, Kyle Davies gets the win. 5 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits and no runs, and you know what? Marte had a home run. These young kids who are coming up in September, Lemmer, sometimes one at bat, sometimes one pitching performance, sometimes makes the difference.
Well, unfortunately for these guys, Stu, some are going to have to just wait a little longer than some of the young guys that are here. The guys that are here are fortunate enough to have that opportunity where a position is open. You take guys like Andy Marte and Kyle Davies, they'll just have to do their time. They've been doing well. They've got sent down. Neither one pouted or sulked. They went down there, went about business. They'll be back in Atlanta in September, and they'll be back here for a long, long time after that.
Mississippi leading West Tennessee 5-0, top of the 7th. It's Myrtle Beach who has the night off. Savannah loses to Rome 6-5. That is a final. Danville beats Kingsport 13-9. Kingsport goes down to Danville. And in the Rookie League, the Tigers over the Braves in the Gulf Coast League, the final 5-3. And as always, the Braves Farm Report brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Well, again, our number's 405.